Well, all right then. This is what we're doing. Didn't know that it was on the thing. What's up? What's up, guys? I didn't know that it was doing the thing that it wasn't supposed to do because I set it up incorrectly because that's... Welcome to my life because that's what happens. How are you? Happy 1113. I'm trying to figure out where to put my little squishy monkey man because he keeps falling on my cords and he's kind of hefty. First world problems, right? Right? First world problems, right? But as you guys know, it is Thursday. That means it's Reiki and Reads. Yes, yes, it is 1113. For those of you guys that have followed me for a long time, you know that 113 is my lucky number. It's my number. So I've got special reads in store for you guys tonight. There are only a handful of them. So if you guys want to get on that list, then you might do so now. But I'm just going to warn you, it has been a full-on ADHD day. I have had coffee. I have had soda, or pop, as I say. I have had tea. I have had chocolate. I have had all of the things. I've gotten a lot of things accomplished today. I feel like a powerful bitch today. So let me share some of that with you. And then we're going to do some reading. So for the first 30-ish minutes, all I want you guys to do is literally just focus on being right here, right now. That's it. That's it. That's it. Apparently, I'm going to get weird accents. It's great. Gotta love epilepsy. I want you guys to just focus on being right here in this moment right now. That's it. Okay? And just like always, for these first few hand positions, you can do them with me or not. You can just take a deep breath. Every time I say take a deep breath. And we'll go from there. We'll go from there. Are we ready? Yes. All right. How's the music? Deep breath. Deep breath. Chakras. Calm down. But first, we're going to do something a little different. I want you guys to think about what it is that you're letting go of. What are you chunking out the window from this week or last week or whatever? I want you guys to just, what are you chunking out the window? Okay? Ready, set, go. Chakras in just a minute, but right now we're going to clear this shit out. Now, I want you to focus. We're going to start at the crown. I know, I'm throwing you guys off all over the place. We're going to start at the crown and we're going to let it just go all the way down. And then we're going to let it go again. Ready? Deep breath. guys to just focus on the middle of your head. That's it. The middle up here. Where your little baby soft spot was at one point, I want you to focus on that, okay? That's it. Just focus on it. Just focus on it. Focus on it being clear. Focus on it not having any baggage or any bullshit in it. Just let it sink down, okay? Ready? For those of you guys that have been having headaches all week, we've had some nasty geomagnetic storms. That's why you can see the aurora. We can see them here in Oklahoma. Really, it's crazy, really easily. So yeah, just let it all go down. Ready? This is your friendly reminder that this is not a place for you to be a jerk or a creep, because even creeps don't like creeps and jerks don't like jerks. And if you want to be hateful, you will get muted and or blocked. Probably both. All right. Ready for the third eye? I want you guys to let anything at all that has been sitting here. I know everybody's gifts have either been through the roof intense or they've been non-existent, okay? I want you to let all of this stuff sit here, and I want you to let it just drain down, okay? We're doing it a little different. I know y'all aren't used to this. I'm not used to it being so quiet. I think that's what's throwing me off. Right now, I want you to just focus right here. Just right in the middle of your forehead. Okay? That's all I want you to do. Just focus right there. That's it. Okay? That's it. Deep breath. Deep breath. We're going to work on this one a little bit longer than normal. I'm actually going to throw a couple of different bracelets on. Just because. Here's the thing. For those of you guys that have not been in the spiritual world for very long, in the spiritual realm, whatever, you'll realize when there's negative energy being sent at you. You'll realize when there are people that are talking about you, when they are doing all the bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? You'll realize it. And when you do, you just put your protections up a little bit more. All right, are we ready for the throat chakra? Yeah? So now everything that has gone here and here is now here. Okay? The only thing I'm going to ask you guys to do during this is just take deep breaths, okay? If you can swallow, cool. If you feel like you need to cough a little bit, cool. Do whatever it is that you need to do to kind of clear this, okay? Ready? I know usually we do it a little different. Take a big deep breath, and then I'm going to move my hair. We're going to start on the heart chakra because all of these bracelets like to pull my hair and it hurts like a bitch, so we're not going to do that tonight. I know normally we do the heart chakra in a different way. I do different hand positions and so on. But tonight, all we're doing is just letting it all drain down. At this point, you should feel it here, or chances are you're feeling it in your legs. Just let it continue to just fall all the way down. So while I'm working on the heart chakra, what I want you guys to do is I want you to kind of start from here and just start actively making yourself relax. Let the eyebrows go down. Let the mask go off. Let the resting bitch face relax. Put your shoulders down. I want you to start doing all of that, okay? Ready? Just breathe. If you feel like you need to lay down before you do this, go for it. Don't forget that you can always watch this on YouTube at any time. To the solar plexus. Are you ready? Are you ready? I can't have my hair behind me because it tickles the back of my neck and it makes me do the heebie-jeebie thing. So, all right. Are we ready? I am going to do this kind of the same. Okay? So I just want you to focus on your belly button, about this far above your belly button. I want you to focus on just letting everything continue to fall. And I want you to pay attention about how heavy your legs are going to start getting. Okay? Can y'all not hear the background music? I was afraid to have it too loud because the speakers are right here by my microphone. But we can fix it. I'm all about loud music. We're still working on the solar plexus. Breath, and we're going to work on the sacral chakra next. So I want you to just be letting everything just fall right down to your feet, okay? We're going to work on the sacral. legs getting heavy? I want you to just breathe. We're going to work on our feet. We're going to work on our legs and our feet. And here's what I want you to do, because normally I say just focus on your feet, but that's not what we're going to do tonight. What we're going to do, I want you to start at the top of your thighs, and I want you to actively push all of that heavy bullshit down your legs, down to the bottom of your feet. Just humor me, because I know some of you guys are like, this is stupid. Just do it. I want you in your brain actively push all of that energy down your legs to the bottom of your feet. And then I just want you to put one of your feet or both of your feet against something. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you have shoes on or not. I just want you to put your feet against something. The floor, the bed, the wall, the carpet. I don't care. Okay? And I want you to just let it all go against whatever it is that you're touching. Deep breath. How do you feel? Deep breath. How do you feel? Do you feel like just a rubber doll? Do you feel like a rubber doll now? Get your mind out of the gutter. Get your mind out of the gutter. Do you feel better? Do you feel better? Good. I just want you to breathe the rest of the time. I'm not going to work on one side or the other. I'm not going to do anything specific. I want you to just breathe. I love that so many of you guys are noticing that that was a big difference. I'm going to tell you guys a secret here in a minute. I'm actually in your house. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm going to tell you guys a secret. You can do that every single night. You can do that every single night. I mean, yes, you can go watch it on my YouTube, and thank you for all those views in advance. But when you're laying in bed and you're getting ready to go to sleep, start from the top of your head and actively make yourself relax. It's hard. It is. It's hard. Actively make yourself relax. Push it all the way down to your feet. I love how many of you guys are like, my cat would shed on you. Apparently, I've been traveling a lot this week in my sleep. So, if I show up in your dreams, what were you doing? What were you doing? For those of you guys that are new to watching me, I have temporal lobe epilepsy. I tend to travel more often than I actually sleep. I have told people for as long as I've been on social media, which is a long time. But I started telling people on TikTok when I first got on TikTok almost 6 years ago, y'all. Almost 6 years ago. We got to have a big 6-year party because I don't know what we should do. There's a reason I have a black horse tattooed on my arm. If you put a black horse beside your bed, I will come get you in your sleep. If you get too far out there, if you have a kid that has night terrors or they get nightmares, if you have a kid that has epilepsy or is neurospicy, or if you have a wonderful sleep paralysis demon, you just put a black horse beside your bed. Yes, it has to be black. I don't care if it's a stick figure horse. I will come get you. Doesn't have to be a crystal one. Nope. You can literally draw it with a black ink pen on a piece of paper. As long as you know that it's a horse, I got you. It's been a long time since I've did a video about that, so I probably need to, huh? What do I mean by come get you? I am unfortunately, unwillingly, an astral travel expert. I've been doing it the majority of my life, thanks to meningitis. So I travel more often than I actually sleep. When I say I will come get you, you have that black horse beside your bed. That is my travel. That is what I used to travel. You get too far out there, you get stuck, I'll come get you. Can anyone learn to do that? Yes. You can train yourself to do that, yes. People that are neurospicy, people that have epilepsy, people that have epilepsy, you travel whether you want to or not. Whether you want to or not. Do you get fussed at if I rescue you? No. To be honest, most of the time I don't even know. I'll have people reach out to the website, message me on social media or whatever, and be like, hey, thank you for pulling me out of wherever, or thank you for this, or you showed up in my dreams last night, or whatever. So, I've been doing it for a long time. I will never ever come and go into your dreams without, you asking me to come help you. That is an unscrupulous dream walker if they do that. But I just want you guys to know that I will always be there to help you. I will always be there to help you. We're going to start to slow down on the Reiki a little bit. I will always be there to help you, okay? You just got to holler. All you got to do is holler. That's why I tell people, have a black horse beside your bed. I don't care if it's a physical horse or if it is a stick figure you drew with a black pen. Just the horse has to be black. That's it. The horse has to be black. What is a dream walker? A dream walker is someone that has the interesting gift to be able to go into other people's dreams. This is something you need to be born with. At least from what I have seen. Let me say that. From what I have seen in my life, yeah. Ooh, what can you use Aurora Moon Water for? Well, that is majorly charged. So you need to look up the spiritual meaning of the Aurora Borealis. The paper color doesn't matter. Nope. I want you to just take a deep breath. So if you're one, your family members are. Not always. It can sometimes skip several generations. Deep breath. Why don't you just breathe for a minute? Normally I know I go a little longer, but tonight we're going to go not quite as long. Just because there are things that I'm trying to do this evening. We're all going to do this evening. But I also want to address some of these questions because I see a lot of people in the comments have questions. So let me say this. You kind of know if you're a dream walker. So let me explain what a dream walker is, and let me explain the difference, how you can tell if you're traveling or you're actually dreaming, okay? So a dream walker is somebody that is born with a gift where they can enter other people's dreams, whether it's to help them through shadow work or help them with something spiritual or whatever. Pull them out of a place in a nightmare, etc. Usually you know in childhood because you've gone to school and told your best friend, oh my God, you were in my dream and we went here and we got ice cream and blah, blah, blah. And your best friend goes, oh my God, you were in my dream and blah, blah, blah. And then you find out that you do this to a lot of people. As kids, you don't realize that you're doing it. You just do it because that gift is wide open, right? And usually, unfortunately, what happens is that if a parent doesn't know about it and a kid dream walks, then that parent will tell the kid, oh, well, you know, that's an overactive imagination or whatever. And you dismiss it. Well, then that kid turns that gift off until something very traumatic happens to them as an adult. And we all know how life goes. So you know something traumatic is going to happen. From what I have seen in my life, I've been around a lot of different tribes. I've been around a lot of different practices. And I knew about it from being, I guess I was born as one, because I mentioned it to my grandma one day, my dad's mom. And she was like, oh, you're a dream walker. Like, just like, oh, I should know about this. Like, oh, you should know. So I've known that I could do this since I was like 6 or 7. Like, that's 6 or 7. Most people that I have ever met that can dream walk were born with it. I don't know if you can learn it. But let me say this. Those of y'all that caught 6, 7, I see you over there. Y'all have teenagers. I didn't mean it that way. It's not as fun as you think it is. It isn't. It's not as fun as you think it is because you catch yourself in the weirdest places with people that you're like, oh God, why am I here? Like, and you can't do anything. You can't help the person. You can't do anything. It's crazy. So I don't know that I'd recommend wanting this gift. I'm just saying. You watching your best friend get chased by a monster and you can't do shit. Like, you get to sit there and watch. Like, it's kind of fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, So let's talk about how to know if you're if you're dreaming or astral traveling, because there is a couple of ways that you're going to know. Here's the first one. And so many of you guys are going to have an aha moment when I say this. If you go to sleep and everything is solid black, you don't remember shit. You sleep 8 hours, you know that you didn't wake up at all. You know, everything was great, nothing happened, but you're more exhausted than when you went to bed. Chances are, in my experience, you're traveling. If you have a dream that is hyper realistic, you can smell things, you can taste things. Don't taste things in a dream, though. Okay, like let me just back up. Let me just back up right there. Don't eat or drink in dreams. Don't eat or drink in dreams. Okay, but every single sense is heightened. Okay, if you can control that, if you can make things appear, and you wake up the next morning and you're exhausted. It wasn't just because when you have a lucid dream, you get all excited. You had a lucid dream, right? And you wake up all rested. This is different. This is much, much different. Okay? So I'm just saying, much, much different. That's how you know if you're traveling versus dreaming. Now, everybody travels at least once in their life. Usually it's because of a really high fever. You get really, really sick. Sometimes if you get a concussion or something like that, or if you're doing some, psychedelic thingies, like that can happen, okay? Normally the things that are there don't give a shit about you because they see you once or twice. They're like, pfft. You keep going, however, and they start to pay attention. You keep going and you start to make friends and you start to make enemies and you start to ping the interest of things that want to suck that energy out. With the astral, the reason that I tell people, if you put a black horse beside your bed, I will come get you, is because that is my mode of travel. That is how I get there and get back. That is also my tether, okay? I have a specific one. I don't ever show it on camera. Y'all know why. If you know, you know. But if you need me, I will come and get you. I've been doing it for a very, very long time. I am happy to help your kids, kids especially. I have a soft spot for kids. Just put a black horse beside your bed, okay? It doesn't have to be anything special. It can be something massive. It can be something tiny. It just needs to be black, and it needs to be a horse. Or it needs to be a horse, and it needs to be black. You can do a stick figure. It can look like a crazy thing. I don't care. If you know it's a horse, and it's black, just put it beside your bed, and I will come get you if you get out too far. Okay? And don't hesitate to message and be like, dude, thank you for pulling me out. Because sometimes I don't know what's up and I don't know where I've been in my sleep. And it's bullshit. It's bullshit sometimes. Just saying. I'm just saying. I have been doing it for a very, very long time. And when I say a very, very long time, I started doing it when I was in my early 20s. I want to say 23. I had a really good friend who, she used to have a lot of night terrors. And I just asked her if she wanted my help one day. And she was like, I don't know how you can help, but yeah. And I told her and she was like, okay, crazy town, and then I helped her. And she was like, what the fuck? Oh my God. And then I've done it for both of my kids and just, there we go. Went from there. But yes, I'm happy to help you. I am more than happy to help you. Somebody asked if I do dream interpretations. Yes. I don't think that is up on my website right now. I'm revamping my services tomorrow. Let me say this. Zoom and I aren't friends right now. I have not been able to get into my Zoom. I can get into my account, but I can't open a meeting, and I don't know why. It doesn't matter what I do, what settings I change, whatever. So I reached out to those of you guys that I had appointments with this week and so on. So I will put dream interpretation back up. So yeah. Yeah. Zeus. Zeus. He's got to get his nest. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost got a rhythm to it. Yeah. I love him. Even Bear is like, I'm out. Bear even got up and walked away. Bear got up and walked away. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. He did have a rhythm, didn't he? So let me get back on track, because I'm gonna get way out there, and then we're gonna start talking about all kinds of fun stuff, and I'll forget about all the things. So my list is open. Yes, if you guys would like to get on it, you can do so by just clicking on the profile link thingy. Why I'm so bright over there on YouTube, I don't know. I mean, I do know, but you know, let's see if we can fix it. Hold on. Let's see if we can fix it, because yeah. He's going to start digging again. He got it all correct, and then Bear got up and left. And now it's not correct. Tonight, see, because it is 1113. Let me read you this here. So I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it. I'm doing 5-card destiny readings. So 1113, 1113, that's 2 master numbers. That's 11 and it's 13. So 11 is a master number, 13 is the witch's number. In this specific reading, there will be 5 different cards. The first one will be the open door. What's pulling you forward right now? The second one is the broken chain. Like, what has to go? What do you have to let go of? The next one is the torch, which is what power is being given back to you. The fourth, I almost said the third one. The fourth one is the mirror, and this is what truth is coming to the forefront right now. And then the fifth one is what area of you is becoming a phoenix right now. And let me just say this, that everybody has been going through some of the nastiest shadow work I've ever seen. Okay, maybe not ever, but it's been pretty damn bad. It's been pretty damn bad. Am I wrong? Like, I know I'm not wrong. I'm just saying. All right. So I have a couple people on my list on the first 5. So Johanna, is it Johanna? Johanna Johanna is first. Yeah, she is first. And I will answer some questions. You know what? All right. Tell me there's stank energy without telling me there's stank energy. Because that be the Abaddon card right there. That be the Abaddon card right there. So there are only 15 slots for tonight, guys. There are already a few people on my list. All you got to do is click on my profile link. I got to be careful what I say over here on TikTok, because they've been doing all kinds of weird shit lately. So, if you guys don't subscribe to me over on YouTube, please do so. You can watch any of these all over again. Also, if you click on the link on my profile, it will take you to my link tree. And you can subscribe on there. It costs you this much dollars, this many dollars, no dollars. But when I put new readings up, then I will send that out. So you kind of get first dibs on stuff. I'm just saying. The blue Bodhi. You are right. Crazy shadow work. Really needed. Especially discernment of when to get involved. Yep. It's been bad. It's been crazy. It's been craziness. By the way, if anybody wants to donate to the Bodhi Needs Toffee Fund, did y'all see that Dave's Sweet Tooth Toffee came out with dark chocolate peppermint? Okay, all right. Johanna is first. So, what is her open door? All right. Open door. Anubis, which is preservation, neutrality, and obligation. Okay. The broken chain. What has to go? Oh, the traveler. Restlessness, appraisal, and independence. What is being returned? Oh, the mad prophet, the keeper of whispers. Interesting. Forbidden knowledge, curiosity, madness. Sweet. So, in other words, Johanna, I'm saying it wrong. I know I am. I'm saying it wrong, and I'm so sorry. Joe is being a little feral. A little feral. What is it? What is the mirror? What truth is becoming very visible? Ooh, the Morrigan. The revenge deity. Okay. Anticipation, introspection, and opposition. And what is your Phoenix moment? The ferryman. This is need and focus. Okay. Transition. So let's talk, Joe. For those of you guys that, if you don't make it on the list tonight, hang on just a minute, Joe. For those of you guys that don't make it on the list tonight, I do have my weekend list up already. You can get on that. I don't like that this is so bright in my face right here. Like, I don't like it. Is that any better? No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And if I do that, now we're all spooky. We'll be spooky. We'll just be spooky. No, everybody on YouTube is like, we don't know what's going on, man. We don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on either. It's all right. It's all right. I don't know what's going on either. I will say that the new moon is coming up next week on the 20th. So a week from today. If you guys missed the Wickening service I did on the full moon, then I have another one up. So you can get tickets for that. I'm just going to quit trying to mess with it. YouTube, I apologize. I have different lighting to put up tomorrow because TikTok, I look fine. YouTube, I look like I'm glowing, I guess. I'm just going to own it. But there are also reads on that day for the new moon, if you guys want to get on that list. I had a couple people ask me about artwork. I'm going to catch that up on the 19th. So I'm excited. All day long, we're going to do artwork. All right, Joe. So what is it that's calling you forward? What is driving you forward right now? This is obligation. It's not neutrality because you are being forced to move forward when you don't want to move forward. The thing that's your driving force right now is this obligation that either you have to, actually it's not to yourself, it's to someone else. It's to someone else. I was going to say either that you have to yourself or whatever. It's not. It's an obligation that you made to someone else. And I feel like this someone else no longer is here. I feel like they have moved on, but you promised them, you made an obligation that you would do X, Y, Z. And that's what is pushing you forward right now is this obligation. And I think that a lot of it is you're fighting against your own self right now over this obligation. And I don't think that it's something you're going to tell anybody that you're arguing with yourself about. And that's fine. And that's fine. I'm just going to say this. We all make obligations to people. We do. We all make obligations to people. And we don't realize when we're making this obligation that we're making a karmic promise. This is a karmic tie. It's a karmic bond. Like we're making something like that now we have to stick to. And when you stick to it, it becomes a karmic tie, karmic bond. These things happen when we tell people that we'll never let anything happen to them. Think about that. How often do you tell your kids, your dogs, your cats, I'll never let anything happen to you? You promise your grandmother on her deathbed that you'll go to college. Do you see what I mean? Those are karmic promises. And I think that right now is what's driving you forward. It is some kind of promise that you made, and it's in the forefront of your mind all the time, Joe. You keep thinking about it. It's been coming up a lot lately, and it's pushing you forward. The thing is, it's been a driving force when you don't want to do other things. I think that there have been a lot of times that this right here has kept you going forward, has kept you putting one foot in front of the other when you just didn't want to be here anymore. So that is what is driving you forward right now, what's calling you forward. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Oh, there's Joe. He said, yeah, I think so. Okay. It's not a bad thing. We just don't realize that we have made that karmic promise. And when we make a karmic promise to somebody who is no longer here, from the other side, they are over here behind us, kind of nudging us, poking, pushing us forward, helping guide us in the way that we need to go to keep going forward, to keep moving towards that karmic promise, right? Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say something else, and then I read a comment, and now it just fell out of my brain. It just out of my brain. But I want to address that comment because somebody said don't make promises. You can't help it. You could be told when you're a kid not to make promises, and your kid brain is going to go, guess what, I'm going to do it. Or even if you don't think you're making a promise, we all make promises. As an adult, we can be more mindful on making the promise, but we're still going to make promises. It's part of it. It's part of who we are. It's part of who our human self is, that we try to make everybody around us happy, and we make promises. So what is the broken chain? What needs to fall away? And I find it interesting that you have the keeper of the crossroads. This is appraisal. It's restlessness. But I want to talk about the appraisal. What needs to fall away? I don't think that this is so much imposter syndrome as it is you judging yourself against someone else's standards. Imposter syndrome is where we feel like we shouldn't be doing this or doing that, or we're not that cool, or whatever. But when we judge ourselves against other people's standards, whether they've told us that that's what they expect or not, then we start to get into this appraisal mode. And so everything that we do, everything that we say, everything that happens suddenly goes into this damn appraisal mode. Well, if I have this kind of car, how is that going to look? And it's not so much keeping up with the Joneses. It's, okay, if I have this kind of car, then how's that going to look to so-and-so or so-and-so? Or if I wear this to holiday dinner, what's grandma going to say? Or what's Uncle Joe going to say? Or what's Grandma Fred going to say? Y'all should all have a Grandma Fred. I don't know why more people don't have Grandma Freds, but you know what I'm saying. So you have this, yes, an invisible audience. So you have this literal audience around you that you're appraising yourself for. But the audience doesn't exist. And because this is the broken chain that has to fall away, that needs to go bye-bye, that is what's holding you back right now, is this constant need to appraise yourself against whatever standards are going on. I know that that's easier said than done. I really and truly do. I know that that's easier said than done. Anybody can tell you, oh, just stop appraising yourself. Whatever. We're all going to still do it. And even if you think you don't, you still do. You still do. It's part of us being bigger, better, more, etc. So here's what I'm going to recommend. And this is for all of you. I mean, it's for Joe, but it's for all of you. Okay? When you realize, you have to train yourself to realize that you're judging yourself. And when you start to realize that, then in your mind you can go, you can make a stop. Okay? I'm going to, case in point, story time. Okay? And this might seem like something stupid. But this is what I'm talking about. And this is my personal thing. I'm going to share with y'all. For those of you guys that have watched me for a long time, you know that my favorite colors are cool colors, right? Blues and greens and purple. Sometimes I wear hot pink, things like that. Never red. Never red. I don't wear red because I always believed, because I was a redhead when I was younger, that I looked terrible in reds and yellows and oranges and so on, right? Never red. I don't wear red. Okay, well, my hair is fucking white on the top now as I've gotten older. I totally can wear red. Look, I can totally wear red. Am I going to do it? No, because I keep judging myself. Well, but I'm a redhead and I can't. Bullshit. Bullshit, right? I'm just saying. That's something that we judge ourselves with something dumb. I just wanted to kind of like tell you. You know what I mean? It's an easy way to see where you're judging each other. So whenever I went in to get my nails done on Monday, they got new cat eyes. These are like, I know y'all can kind of see them, but they have this crazy fiery looking orange, yellow, gold in them, right? I have been thinking about this color since I had my dragon nails. I've been thinking about the red. I'm thinking about it, right? I was looking up nails on Pinterest that had this color. By the way, I do have a Pinterest page. There is so much shit on there. If y'all don't follow me on Pinterest, you should. But I'm obsessing over it, right? And so when I got there, in my mind, I was going to do the purple. And when she asked me what color I was going to do, I said, well, probably the purple, but I've really been thinking about that red. And she said, then do the red. And it literally was that easy. When she said that, everything went away because I said, she doesn't know that I'm a redhead. Nobody knows that I'm a redhead unless you see my leg hair. Which, you don't need to see my leg hair. Or you see pictures of me as a kid. Nobody knows. So I'm holding this belief for nobody. I want you to think about that, okay? That is a stupid little tiny thing. And we do that to ourselves all the time. All the time. Well, I can't go do this because I have been led to believe XYZ. Or I can't live here or move here or drive this car or work at this place or wear this or color my hair or whatever. All the time. But if you guys ever saw me in public without blue hair, or if you ever saw me online without blue hair, it would feel weird, right? Think about things like that. But I was told for the longest time that I can't have blue hair. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? So whatever this appraisal is that you're doing, Joe, actively when you realize you're doing it, stop what you're doing, take a deep breath. Whatever it is you need to do to just cut that off. Does that make sense? All right. So, what is the power that's being returned? Because I want to talk about this one. I know we spent a lot of time on the broken chain, but I want to talk about this one. Because this is madness and forbidden knowledge and curiosity. So, I would not be surprised to know that you have either pulled out some old books, or you've been watching some videos, or taking classes, or whatever, on forbidden magic or forbidden topics that you used to be obsessed with. I would not be surprised. This right here, Joe, is what is being brought back to you. So when, I like that, maybe. Girl, fall into it. fall into it, because this is what's being returned to you. There's a reason that you suddenly have been re-obsessing about that topic. Just saying. What's interesting is that in today's world, forbidden topics and forbidden magic, it's everywhere. Think about it, it's everywhere. The Hermetic principles, Agrippa, Crowley, all of these magical people that back in the day, that was no, that was taboo, you know. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Learn it. Enjoy it. Even if you learn it and you're like, I don't really like it. That's just another tool in your belt. Just another tool in your bag. And you can learn about somebody's practice, about something, about a specific type of practice, and still not agree with it. Or not agree with all of it. In fact, you should learn about the things you don't agree with, because you never know when they're going to be used against you, and then you need to pull out protections for that. Just saying. The more you know. So, dive down all of that craziness as far as the forbidden knowledge. Just saying. Just saying. What truth is becoming visible for you right now? I find this one interesting, and I don't want to talk about the words on the bottom of the card, okay, because it's introspection and opposition and so on. I want to talk about the Morrigan herself. The Morrigan is a triple deity, triple goddess, and she's a deity of revenge. She is a deity that helps the downtrodden. She is a battle deity. The truth that's becoming visible. I don't think that this is something for me to sit and tell you what it is. Instead, I want you to look up what the Morrigan stands for. The reason that I do that sometimes is I'm very familiar with this deity, by the way, in case you're like, oh, well, it's just that you don't know. That's my girl. I'm very familiar with this deity. If you got the Cliff Notes of your life, and you could look at the Cliff Notes and you could just see all of the things about your life, would you then actively go do it? No. If you ever got the Cliff Notes of a book in school, did you ever read the book? Maybe one person did. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? So go look up what the Morrigan stands for, because the truth that's becoming visible, especially with this card right here, with this obligation that's pushing you forward, I feel like those two things are tied together. And I feel like when you are researching what it is that she stands for, literally look it up in that way. What does the Celtic goddess, the Morrigan, stand for? Look it up in that way. Because what comes up is probably going to hit you right in the gut. And possibly in the chest. I don't know. But I want to see what your Phoenix moment is. The fact that it's transition. This is the ferryman. So those of you guys that are not familiar with Charon, this is who takes you across the river Styx in Greek mythology. When you pass away, you go blah, 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 right down, you get on the boat, he takes you across river Styx safely and dumps you off. This is transition. It's also focus, but it's transition. So I want you to think about that. For you to have this rebirth, you need to be able to let yourself go through this transition. And I know you could just easily say, oh, you need to have focus. No. When it comes to transition, a lot of times we fight transition, even though we know that that transition is what needs to happen. That transition is what is the best for us. We fight it tooth and nail. So letting yourself actually have that transition. Giving yourself permission to change and to grow and to move and to let things go. It's hard. It's hard. It's really hard. So that's your Phoenix button, is actively letting yourself go through this transition. Oh, I'm sorry that you had to go through a painful event. Shadow work has been a thing. Shadow work has been a major thing. I had not done my astrological forecast in a long time, and I need to start doing them again because I liked knowing what was going on. But I will say that astrologically, shit has just been crazy. It has been crazy, and the shadow work has been insane. If you guys don't know what shadow work is, you have homework. It's to go research that. Do not research it on TikTok. Go on Google and put shadow work Carl Jung, Jung, Carl Jung. It is actually a psychological aspect of yourself, your psyche. All right, Jennifer Binksy is next. So there are some tickets that are first 5 tickets, and those 5 will be done first, and then we will do the others. All right, Binksy, are you ready? So, the open door, Thanatos, which is completion, support, and expediency. And then the broken chain, what you need to let go of. Ooh, strategy, failure, and trauma. No. This is sorrow, loss, valor, and serendipity. I had to think for a minute. This is the prince, not the exile. Interesting. Okay. What power is being returned? Focus. Focus, transition, but this is focus, not transition. The mirror. What is becoming visible? Ooh, fame. Stagnation, pride. But we're going to go with fame. I find that very interesting that it's like there's a little bit of blue in the first card, but mainly like reds and yellows. The prince is reds and yellows and black. Charon is a lot of yellows and black, and then bam, blue and red. And then what is your rebirth? Oh, the martyr card. Honesty. Shame, honesty, and restitution, but it's honesty. Okay. All right, Binksy Poo. Y'all didn't see that. I just realized I warmed up my coffee. It isn't warm now. It was. It is not now. I am still hooked on the caramel apple coffee. I have to go buy some more. I'm addicted. It's a problem. I'm addicted. It's a problem. Okay. What's calling Binksy forward? Completion. You are this close. This close. My grandpa would say a hair on the frog's ass. Like, you are this close to getting something done. You are this close to being able to wash your hands of something. You are this close to having this completion, to being finished. What this tells me that this card came out first is that this is something you have been holding on to for so long. It's something that has taken you probably years, whether it's school, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether I don't know what this is, but it's something huge that has taken you several years. And now you're almost done with it. But it's hard for you to let it go because when we have something that has taken us years to do, it becomes our life. It becomes our life. This is why a lot of times when people graduate school, they don't know what to do. When they graduate high school, they go through this period of like, I don't know what to do because their entire life has been school. Their entire life that they can really, really remember has been school. So they go crazy a little bit. Same thing goes with college. So whatever this is, this aspect of completion that you've been almost done with. I'm trying to find my thing to, I got a deal for my chair for the sciatic nerve because it's stupid. Whatever this is, Binksy, that you're trying to complete, do it. I know that it's, I'm looking all over for it. It's in my fucking lap. I know that that's easier said than done. But at the same time, it is that easy. Stop finding reasons to stay in that situation or in that job or in school. Stop finding reasons to just sit in that thing. Yes, it was a part of your life. And yes, you should let it go. And yes, it is something that you're always going to remember. And yes, it is a part of you. But you have to grieve it. You have to let it go. And you have to let it do whatever it is that it needs to do. It's holding you back. So what needs to fall away? This one right here is interesting because this is the prince. This is the forgotten adversary. So it's not so much serendipity that needs to fall away. It is the lost valor. Sorrow is also listed on that card, but we're going to talk about the lost valor. The reason that this is the broken chain that needs to fall away, let me explain what lost valor is. A lot of you guys know it more by when someone doesn't get recognition for some massive thing that they did and somebody else gets a recognition for it. But it can happen in little bitty things too. It doesn't always have to be just this massive life-changing thing. Lost valor can happen really easily. Really easily. Somebody takes credit for one of your ideas. Or somebody takes one of your ideas and does something else with it. Or somebody flat out lies and says that they are you or whatever. All of that. I know that sounds really, really weird. I know that sounds really weird. But we all do it. We all have that problem. And we hold that in there. I'm gonna talk about like when someone steals one of your ideas, because it happens to all of us. It happens to every one of us. We have all told somebody something either in confidence or in passing, or we've mentioned that this is what we're going to do. And then suddenly somebody, oh, Sheila over there is doing it. I don't know why it's always Sheila. And if you're a Sheila, I'm sorry. But suddenly somebody over there is doing it. And then, so if you do it now, you look like you're copying that person, right? But the thing is that you should never hold yourself to what they're doing. If you do, if you hold yourself back because somebody took your idea and did it, then you're always going to regret not doing that thing. You're always going to regret not doing that thing. Lost valor happens in so many different ways. In so many different ways. It's something that we all have to address. Does that make sense? Not only is it something that we all have to address, but it's something that every single one of us is going to deal with multiple times in our life. And Binksy, right now, this is what's holding you back the most, is this lost valor. This thing that you perceive that you should have done, but didn't get done. Or somebody else did it. I promise that it's going to never, ever go away if you don't let it. I can promise you. It's just like when people tell you that you have to forgive somebody, or you have to forgive this or forgive that. You don't have to do anything, but if you forgive yourself, then you're not holding on to it anymore. I hope that made sense. I know it did. I'm trying to, because I've read for you a lot over the years, so I know some of the things that you've gone through, and I was trying to kind of skirt around things without saying your personal business. So let's talk about the torch. What power is being returned focus, and we're going to need you to share with the class. We're going to need you to share this focus with the class, my friend, because, I mean, let's face it, none of us have it. None of us have it. None of us have it. What's being brought back to you right now in an amazing rebirth is literally your focus back. And I'll let you take that how you need to take it. Also, I don't know what's up with me yawning because I slept really good last night. I slept really good last night. So I'm yawning. I'm glad that Binksy is here, and I'm glad that you knew what I was saying. I'm glad that you knew what I was saying. Let's look at the mirror. What truth is becoming visible? And we're going to look at fame here. We're not going to look at stagnation, and we're not going to look at pride. We're going to look at fame, and I'm going to tell you why. When it comes to this lost valor over here, and I told you, hey, don't stop on the path that you were on just because somebody else stole that idea or they took what you were going to do and ran with it or whatever. Fuck that person. But the fame is interesting. Sometimes we go through shit in our life for a very weird reason. We go through shit in our life so we can help other people that are going through that shit or might be going through that shit. Which sounds like a terrible reason to go through some shit. Am I right? But when you go through all of this crap and then you come out on the other side, whether you had help or not, you come out on the other side. You realize that you're stronger for it. And then one day you realize that you can help others with the things that you've overcome, the things that you've survived, the things that you've walked through. And I think that that is what this fame is for you, Binksy. I would highly recommend, if you haven't already thought about it, writing a book about your experiences. Writing a book about your experiences. Because I know that you've been through a lot. I know that you've been through some crazy, crazy things. And I know that you've had a lot of ups and downs. And if you haven't thought about writing a book, you should. I have a piece of my lipstick that is pissing me off really badly. I hate it a lot. I wore a different kind of lipstick today, and I wish I hadn't. I'm regretting my life choices. Not really. I'm regretting that choice. I'm regretting that choice. So let's look at the rebirth, because this is the most interesting card to get in this position. Because this is the martyr card. We're not going to worry about restitution and we're not going to worry about shame, but we are going to worry about honesty. Your rebirth has to do with honesty. Your rebirth has to do with either you being honest to you or you being honest about everything around you, or both. Both. Here's the thing. People like to say that, well, they don't like to say it. Let me say this. People like to just be rude and then say that they're being honest. I'm just being honest. No, you're not. You're being a bitch. There's a difference between being honest and being a bitch. There's a difference between being honest with yourself and being self-loathing. There's a difference between being your honest, authentic self and abusing other people. Does that make sense? People forget that there's a line. People forget that that is a line. So one of the things I'm going to say, Binksy, about this is being honest with you does not mean I don't want to say abuse because that's not right. Self-loathing does not mean that you need to be beating yourself up because, okay, well, if I'm being honest with myself, then, you know, blah, 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 blah. My butt is too big. Or does that make sense? Like, we can be honest. We can be honest with ourselves, and we can go forward with an air of honesty without falling back into all of those same things of that self-loathing issue. And I think that that's something you're going to have to kind of follow. You're going to have to be really careful walking that line, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. I think that you're on an amazing path right now, and I think that you getting your focus back is going to be key. I think that is going to be key. I'm excited to see where you go. I'm excited to see where you go from here. I'm going to turn on my fan because that was a hot flash. And for those of y'all that are not lucky enough to have hot flashes yet, I don't like you. Because they're stupid. Hi, beers. They are super stupid. Not just a little stupid, they are super stupid. Those of you guys that have hot flashes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They are 9 shades of bullshit. 9 shades of bullshit. Yeah, see, a lot of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. They're bullshit. They're bullshit. They're bullshit. All right, let's see here. It did actually mark you off. Holy crap! Cassandra! Cassandra is next. This thing is killing me here. All right, we're going to do this. I'm going to show you guys my other addiction. Are you ready? These fucking things right here. I get them at Walmart, but I know you can get them all over the place. They're so good. They're so good. I don't get paid to promote those. I wish I did. But, they're like strawberries, but gummy. I don't know. They're not normal dried fruit. Makes me so happy. I found them by accident in Pennsylvania when I was up there. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. Alright, Cassandra, you ready? They do stick to your teeth, though. See, I don't like the dates, but you can have mine out of that bag. I get the bag that's just strawberries. Yeah. All right. What is the open door that's calling you forward? Let me adjust this. Restlessness, appraisal, and independence. Complete independence. I see you over there. And what is the broken chain that needs to fall away? Short-sightedness, ambition, and narcissism. But we're going to go with short-sightedness. So all of these cards have 3 themes at the bottom. And when I use these in this way, it's the one that stands out to me, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't make sense. I don't know. The torch. What power is being returned? Ooh, this is wisdom. This is the ageless. Healing, graciousness, and acceptance. Okay. What truth is becoming visible? Secrets. Secrets! Okay. And then what is the rebirth aspect for Cassandra? Dark divine feminine, apparently, because this is Abaddon. Pestilence and malice and corruption. And I can't laugh hard enough at that. Let me just say, girl, that if you haven't been looking at Lilith, if you haven't been looking at Hecate, if you haven't been looking at Kali, if you haven't been looking at the Morgan, if you haven't been looking at all of the dark divine feminine, I mean, that's your homework. That's your homework. Independence. Let's talk about the open door. What's calling Cassandra forward? Independence. The whole entire fuck you, fuck this, fuck that attitude. Independence. This is what I'm going to do. You can't stop me. You can't keep telling me no. I'm just going to keep doing it. And I'm going to do it bigger and better every single time. Everything that's driving you forward right now, something has broken open in you. I don't think that this was just a door open. This was like a dam burst. And it's all independence. It is you being able to be who you're supposed to be, who you want to be, and nothing at all about being small anymore. And I think that that is a driving force with you right now. And I'm just going to say this because it's going to kind of help sum up a lot of this that we're going to talk about. When you finally find yourself, and unfortunately, this only happens when something breaks. When something breaks. See, hot flash is over. Now I'm freezing. And when I say when something breaks, this can be a relationship, a job, your heart, like something like that. Losing somebody. When something breaks and you no longer have something that is supposed to be holding you down, holding you back, holding you. The independence that comes with that is scary as fuck. It's scary as fuck. And it makes you stop and look around and be like, I don't know. This might have been exactly what you were asking for and manifesting. And then you get it. And then you're like, but this. We all like to think of independence as this amazing, glorious thing. We all like to think of independence as, you know, the sun shining down on us with the eagle at our back. You know, we think of it like that, but it's not. It's scary as fuck. It's scary as fuck. And when you get that independence, it's perfectly okay for you to be scared. Just know that. That's for everybody. Cassandra especially, but it's for everybody. When you get that independence, it's okay to be scared. Because we're told our entire lives that things have to be planned out. You got to have plan A and B and C and F and Q and R. You got to have all those plans, right? I make a plan just so I don't have to follow the plan. Independence is scary. Independence is scary. And sometimes you have to fight for that independence. And sometimes you have to crawl through the mud for that independence. And sometimes you have to grab that independence and not let go. Okay? So what is it that needs to fall away? We're going to talk about the short-sightedness here. My friend, you aren't thinking big enough. You aren't thinking big enough. And I think that some of that comes with this independence. You're learning how to take all of the things that you have seen and known and been programmed with and learned and felt and whatever. You're learning to take all of those things and move it into something bigger and better. But you're keeping the horse blinders on when you don't have to. I'm just going to say this. A long time ago, oh my God, 2011, I love Marilyn Monroe, okay? I love Marilyn Monroe. She's a fascinating person to me. And I had a bathroom that was all black and white and Marilyn Monroe. And I was at Ross, of all places, and found a canvas of Marilyn Monroe that had one of my favorite quotes on it. And I'm going to paraphrase because I can't remember, like, I can't remember the exact wording, but it's, if I had followed all the rules, I would never have gotten anywhere. I love that quote, because that gives you the freedom to be independent and know that it's okay. Does that make sense? Because even though we're independent, and even though we know that we're powerful in that independence, we still seek approval of ourselves and other people. We still seek that approval. We still need someone to tell us that they're proud of us. We still need someone to tell us that it's okay if we do that thing. If I had followed all of the rules, I would have never gotten anywhere. I'm just saying. Take the horse blinders off, my friend. The torch. What power is being returned? I'm actually going to say all three of these. Healing, graciousness, and acceptance. When we are in knuckle down mode, we forget that healing is a priority. When we are in the mode of go, 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 do, 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 be, 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 we forget that we still need to do the healing stuff in here. And I'm just going to say this. Anybody that says that they're healed, they're 100%, they're exactly who they want to be, they're all this stuff, I'm happy with who I am. I like who I am. Am I exactly who I want to be? No. No. I would like to have wings and fly. And that's bullshit that we can't have that. But it is what it is. Anybody that says that they're 100% healed is fooling themselves. They're lying to themselves. Because you can never, ever be 100% healed. Ever. So what we do instead is we run the other way as human beings. We run completely the other way, and we go, you know what? If I can't heal all the way, then fuck it, I ain't gonna heal at all. And so we knuckle down and we do all this other shit, and then we forget. This is why people preach about self-care and self-love and meditation and mindfulness and silence, stillness, being present in the moment. And we all forget, and we all get out of that habit, and we all have to make ourselves come back in. So start small. Don't try to just immerse yourself completely and utterly and forget the world. Okay? Okay? Start small. Start with little acts of kindness for yourself. Little acts of being present in the moment. I'm going to give you guys my favorite one. If y'all have watched me for any length of time, then you already know that I do this. One of the things that I was told when I was, I don't know, I was younger, but I used to love the happy food dance. The happy food dance, right? And I was told that I had to stop doing it because it looked stupid. Don't do that. Don't do that. So I didn't for the longest time. And then when I was going through the divorce in 2019, 2020, there were a lot of times when things were so mentally just a lot that I couldn't be mindful. I couldn't make myself be in the moment sometimes because I was so overwhelmed with all the feels that go with the divorce, right? And all the bullshit and all the stuff. And I was sitting at a restaurant in Tulsa, and I was eating some of my favorite tacos. Oh, I hate this when this does this. Hold on. Some of y'all have heard me talk about puffy tacos. You can only find them in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They're phenomenal. It's magic in the taco shop. I don't know what it is, but it's so fucking good. Anyway, I digress. So I was sitting there, and I had a really, really hard day. My food comes out, and it's in front of me, and it smells glorious. And I pick up my puffy taco, and I take a bite, and I just started doing the food dance. Because in that moment, it's all I gave a shit about. It's all I gave a shit about was that bite of that taco. And then all I gave a shit about was the next bite, and the next bite, and the next bite, and the elote with the aioli, and that's all I gave a shit about. And I had this like, oh my God moment of, I stopped doing these happy food dances because I was told to, but the happy food dance made me be in the moment right then. So start there. Start with something little bitty. It seems so small, right? Just doing the happy food dance because, oh my God, that was good chocolate cake, or that was amazing fettuccine, or whatever it is. The happy food dance, it makes you be in the moment right then. Start small. What truth is becoming visible? Secrets. Secrets. And you know exactly what that means. Cassandra, you know exactly what that means. I don't know if this is from a relationship, from a job, from a family member, friend, whatever. Someone that's been hiding a lot of shit for a very, very long time. All of that is starting to come to light. All of the ways that you covered for this thing or that person or this boss or this situation, all of the ways that you helped with that, those are all going to come forward. So here's what sucks. Yes, you're going to find out the truth about a lot of things, but also at the same time, there's a lot of mirror shadow work that goes with it. So know that this is going to be a time of intense growth and intense shadow work at the same time, because they go hand in hand, y'all. And then the Phoenix aspect. The dark divine feminine. And again, if you aren't looking at Lilith or Hecate or the Morrigan or Kali or, you know, I'm just saying. And that card is so different from the rest of them. It's so funny. The dark divine feminine is not evil. The dark divine feminine is not making yourself be evil. Dark divine feminine is all about your own personal power. It's all about not giving a fuck, but still being kind. People forget that. I see so much on social media where people are like, I'm in my dark divine feminine era. I'm in my feral era. Even feral animals are still kind. Let that sink in a minute. Even feral animals are still kind. They still have a motivating factor. A feral raccoon is just trying to feed her babies. So when I do my research, does that mean trying to work with these deities? I guarantee you that if you're looking at dark divine feminine deities, there is one of them that probably has already been reaching out to you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. When you start kind of researching a little bit, and you know, and you realize, oh my God, I've been seeing hibiscus everywhere and been obsessed with hibiscus tea, and the color blue, and, you know, watching people's heads roll on a pike. That might be Kali. I mean, just saying. Just saying. All right. Jessica C is next, and then Melanie L. It's not letting me mouse over your name. Is my other first five, and then we'll start down the list. I think that they will come out sooner rather than later, Cassandra. Just saying. Alrighty. Oh, you're welcome, Miss Mary. All right. Okay, so Jessica, I'm going to need you and Cassandra to be friends and then not hang out. Because what's calling you forward? But here's the thing, yours is different. Pestilence, malice, and corruption. What's calling you forward is that you have... I almost feel like you're engulfed in a situation that is just straight up fucking malicious. That is just straight up malicious. I did shuffle a lot. Y'all saw it too. I even knocked the deck and everything. You're embroiled in a situation that is straight up malicious. And unfortunately, when we are in something like that, that is a driving factor. It's a driving factor. And it can drive us to retreat, to draw into ourselves. It can draw us to push forward. It can draw us to get out of that. Anger is one of my most motivating factors. If I'm angry at some shit, bitch, my house is going to be so clean you could eat off of every surface. So with yours, what's calling you forward is this malice, this whole situation where you're embroiled in this malice. The broken chain, what needs to fall away? Opposition. Okay. Remember how I just said that a lot of times a situation with malice can make us pull into ourselves? We pull into ourselves when we're under attack because we don't want to stoop to that level. We pull into ourselves when we're under attack because we don't want someone, you know, if that person or that somebody in that situation is talking about how, oh, well, they're always drama, even though you know you're not, it's them that's the drama. You don't want to say anything or do anything and then be the drama, right? But sometimes that opposition for yourself, that opposition of, well, I don't want to say anything and I don't want to be this or be that. That opposition is what's holding you back. Is what's making it to where you can't move forward, where you can't continue on the path you're on, and you can't go back. You don't have to stoop to someone's level to tell them to fuck off. Just saying. So what torch, what power is being returned to you? Ooh, wisdom, paternalism, and kindness. You know what? I love that this card came out right here because I feel like there's a lot of wisdom being returned to you, and I feel like kindness is about to be reciprocated, if that makes sense. Because you're in a situation right now of all of this malice, and that's what's driving you forward is the fucking malice, and it's just too much. It's overwhelming. When you're in a situation that's completely malicious, it's really hard to want anybody to be kind to you because you don't want them to get drawn into the situation as well. So by you getting out of this situation and you stop opposing your own responses to it, that brings you a ton of wisdom that either you have been hiding or it's been hiding from you. And it allows you to allow people to be kind to you again. It opens that up for you to let people be kind to you again. The mirror. What truth is becoming visible? Genie the Maid. So this is humility, champion, and disillusionment. But we're not worried about disillusionment. You know, I think that just like the El Shaddai card, we're also going to go with both. With the humility and the champion aspect. Because you standing up for yourself and you finally allowing this opposing aspect to come out and cut off the malicious shit that's happening around you. Being humble allows you to own that champion aspect. I feel like you're in the middle of a really, really shitty, hard, intense situation, and you've been numb for so long. You've been numb about it to the point that you just don't deal with it. You just don't deal with it. And I'd be willing to bet that a lot of this crazy shadow aspect that has been hitting everybody has also been hitting you. And when it's been hitting you, you've been kind of going back in your brain like, oh shit, what about all of this and what about all this? And seeing where there's all these layers of shadow work that you kind of touched on, but you didn't go through all of them, if that makes sense. What is your rebirth coming up? Ooh, the Eternal Servitor. So this is hope. It's hope and incompleteness and learning. I saw that you say that you don't know if it's work or a guy you've liked for a while. It's work. It's work. It has nothing to do with a romantic relationship. Dude, I don't know why I feel like I need to tell you this, but look for another job. Find another job. It doesn't mean to go in tomorrow and quit, okay? But get your stuff together. Get your stuff together, get your resume together, and start putting the feels out, because I think that it's like a dam is broke. And right now, you're just hearing the trickle of the water. You're just hearing the trickle of the water. But pretty soon, it's going to become a flood, and then it's a full-on raging river. And I think that once you start to see the trickle, you start to hear the drips, you still have time to get your shit in order. And I think that you've kind of given up hope about finding another job for a while. I think that you've given up hope about even attempting to move forward or whatever. This is also a good time to start learning some new skills, taking a class, getting a certification, whatever it is that you need to do, Jessica, because I'm just saying. Learn some new things, get your resume together, and start looking for another job. Like I said, don't just go in and quit. Don't just go in and quit. But yeah, it's really draining. What do you do for a living? Like, just focusing on it is, I'm like, oh God, I could just go to sleep. What the heck? Dude. I feel like I needed a strawberry after that. Oh. Yeah. You definitely need to find something else. Or another company. Let me say that. Definitely. A lot of office politics. I can see that. And that is definitely, you don't need it. Melanie L is next. That's the one thing that I think everybody can understand is office politics, because we've all experienced it. But I feel like you getting everything in order, getting your resume in order, that's what needs to happen ASAP. always felt sorry for people that felt the need to play office politics. Always. Even when I was younger. I never understood it. If we're all here to do a job, why are we not doing that job? You know what I mean? I don't get it. All right. All right, Miss Melanie. What's up, Christy? What's calling you forward? Ooh, the great hunt. Ambition. You went to for use, and they didn't want to hire you. Why didn't they want to hire you? Even though they've been short-staffed. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. What is up, Titanium Tammy? How the hell are you? All right, Miss Melanie. Authority and the hunt is what's driving you forward. Girl got some ambition going on. That you wouldn't be able to handle the stress. Okay. Living the dream. I would look for something completely away from that facility. I would. Tammy, remind me, are you the one that does the Herkimer diamonds? You just got notified that, I thought so. I just didn't want to be stupid for a minute. You just got notified that I followed you, but you know I did it because you can see my hands. I thought so. Are you doing lives when you're doing those? Did I catch you live the other day? Also, I still have the one that you gave me. I still have the ones that you sent me. Not you. Okay. Okay. I don't know who it was then. I came across it and then had to close my phone and couldn't find it again. All right. Ooh, girl. Let me focus. Those things are so good. Makes me so happy. Makes me so happy. Actually, not bad with caramel apple coffee either. All right, the broken chain for Miss Melanie. Oh! What needs to fall away? Potency, confidence, and magnetism. I'm actually going to say magnetism. I'm actually going to say magnetism. And here's what I'm going to say about this. Because this is something I tell people all the time. And when I tell some people, I can see the light bulb go off. You have to turn off your manifestations. You have to turn them off. Because if you're manifesting something, let's say you're manifesting your dream job, right? And suddenly here comes this job that looks like your dream job. Did you go and say thank you and turn that manifestation off? Because guess what? You're just going to get another job offer from another company. That's your dream job. And then another, and then another, and then another. And the problem comes when you're like, ooh, that is a better job. Let me go over there. And that is a better job. Let me go over there. And suddenly you've skipped jobs like 3 times in a year. And that doesn't look good on a resume, does it? So you have to turn your manifestations off. Or let's say that you're manifesting your soulmate, the perfect person for you. Did you realize that everybody has multiple soulmates? You have multiple soulmates. So you manifested the perfect person for you in that moment, and there could be 4. Now what do you do? Do you see what I mean? You have to turn your manifestations off. Magnetism can become overwhelming if you've already got the thing that you wanted, the thing that you needed, the thing that you manifested. So you have to turn your magnetism off. And sometimes you just need a break. The torch. What is being returned? Ooh, the maestro. Reinvention, understanding, and ingenuity. I think that this is really understanding. What is being returned? Understanding. And here's what's funny, because I think that a lot of it had to do with me talking about this card right here when I said you have to turn your magnetism off. I know that some people were like, wait, why? Why would you want to turn your magnetism off? Y'all ever see the Rick and Morty episode where Rick makes Morty a redhead magnet? And it pulls all the redheads from everywhere? You know what I mean? There's an old fable about a guy who gets some wishes, and he wishes to have all the money in the world. So the problem with that is when you have all the money in the world, you can't ever spend the money, because if you give the money to somebody else, it's just going to go right back into your pocket because you have all the money in the world. So if somebody else has some money, then you don't have all the money in the world. Do you see what I mean? And then if they start using, I don't know, leaves as money, well, now that's money, so now they're all yours too. You can be crushed under the weight of your own magnetism. So you have to turn it off. And I think when I said that, that is the understanding right there, because it's like, oh, okay. Sometimes the simplest thing that somebody can say to us in passing, or us just listening to somebody else's reading or whatever, that is exactly what it is that spurs the understanding. So what is the truth that's becoming visible? So the Danu card fell out in my lap. I'm not doing them upside down tonight just because. So this is creation, ferocity, and motherhood. The truth becoming visible, creation. Dude, you've been really working on your manifestations. You've not only been working on your manifestations, but you've been working on change and being more. And dude, this is awesome. Melanie, I'm just going to say that this is awesome, and I'm proud of you. Like, you've got your ambition back. You're moving back towards hunting out the things that you want, the things that you deserve, the things that make you happy or will make you happy, are making you, etc. You're just learning that you need to kind of turn your magnetism off a little bit. You're coming to a lot of understandings from some amazing smaller things, just little bits of wisdom that have come in. And now you're realizing that you create your own reality and no one else can touch it. I'm here for it. I'm down. So what is your rebirth and evolution? What Phoenix aspect is coming up? Ooh, the traveler. The thinker, excuse me. I like that you have understanding and then you have knowledge. But the other part of this card, because I don't think that it's so much knowledge as reinvention. Melanie, sometimes you have to step out on the ledge. Sometimes you have to step out on the branch, even if you know the branch is going to break. Sometimes you have to be willing to do things differently than you have ever done them before. That reinvention, that new Melanie that you really want, that you want to let out, let's say that you want to let out, stop holding it back. Just let her out. Just let her out. Because that Phoenix aspect is what's going to drive. It's like a perpetual motion thing. You just letting that Melanie out is going to drive more ambition, more personal power with, okay, I got what I needed from this aspect, so let me turn that manifestation off and say thanks. And then the understanding with all of the serendipitous things that happen in your life and why you are exactly where you are right now, instead of, you know, with this person or in that job or living here or there. And that then you realize you can create your own reality. Like, Melanie, I think you're way more powerful than you realize. You said you were reinventing yourself and then you pulled the card. I didn't even know that was you, Mel. I think you just need to go, you know, no holds barred. I think that you just need to do it. Just be the thing. These are all really powerful cards. They're all really, really powerful cards right here. A lot of creation, a lot of movement, a lot of understanding, a lot of wisdom. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. When you're ready, I think that you'll decide to let that reinvention be the biggest part of you. And when you decide that, that's when all hell's gonna break loose. In a great way. In a great way. Do you understand what I'm talking about when I mention just letting it go, letting it happen, letting it go? I know you do. Because of that. Because I went to shuffle and this card fell right back out. I know you do. I see you over there. You're releasing a lot of. Okay. I think that you're going to wake up one morning soon and just feel more. All right. Miss Cindy is next. So what is Cindy's open door? Seriously? Really? The feral Cindy? We have feral Cindy? Pestilence, malice, and corruption. I don't think we have feral Cindy. What's calling you forward? We're going to talk about the pestilence aspect of that. I think it's health. Your health issues, etc., are driving you forward right now. Am I right? I don't take this as like some big massive thing, but I know we all hit phases in our life where we're more concerned with our meat sack than before. And I think that that is what's driving you forward right now, is your health, your meat sack, your temple, and taking care of it and making sure that you aren't, I think of the right word. Like I can brain it, but I can't words it. Just trying to make sure that you are okay. I guess, I hope that makes sense. That's the only way I can put it. I don't think you've been stressing about it, but I think that you feel like it's been, that there's an urgency to it. There we go. There's an urgency to it, but you're not stressing about it. The broken chain, what needs to fall away? Hope and yearning and incompleteness. The incompleteness. Okay. The torch, what power is being returned? Didn't I just say that you were feral? And then you pulled a Lilith card on what energy is being returned? Hunger and animism and instinct. So instinct is being returned. What truth is becoming visible? Restlessness, appraisal, and independence. Okay. And then what rebirth aspect of Cindy? Strategy. This is also failure and trauma. We're going to talk about that here in a second. All right, Miss Cindy. We talked a little bit about the open door and what's calling you forward, and I feel like it's something that has to do with you physically, your health, your meat sack. Like I said, I think that this is just you wanting to make sure that you are good. I don't think it's anything bad. I don't think it's anything major. I think it's just a phase that we all go through as people, that, and really it's about every decade of your life you go through a thing where you're like, oh, I should lose weight. I should eat better. I should get more sleep. You start to go through these interesting turning points, and I think that's where you're at. And I think that's what's driving you forward right now. The funny thing about this card coming up, because I was also joking and said, you know, the feral Cindy is on the loose. And I think that's some of it as well, because we go through phases where we want to make sure that our health is okay so we can, you know, run a marathon or go skydiving or, you know, things like that. So just making sure that you're healthy enough to do these things can be a driving factor in being feral and just enjoying everything in the dark divine feminine that has to offer. Just saying. You just went and took every lab possible. So what is it that needs to fall away? Hope and yearning and incompleteness. I'm going to say that it's a little bit of incompleteness and a little bit of yearning. Sometimes we get in our head, and not in our head, let me rephrase that. Sometimes we have a goal that we put on ourselves. And the problem with that is that even though we know it's unrealistic, we're never going to do that. I set a goal for myself years ago that I wanted to run a marathon. No, I don't. No, I don't. But I set that goal, and it keeps coming up. I don't want to. I'm not going to train to do that. I don't want to. But it keeps coming up because I set the fucking goal. But sometimes that yearning to have that thing or to do that or to make that goal happen or whatever, it becomes a pressure. And so letting that yearning of that incomplete aspect just kind of fall away, that's exactly what you need to do. Some of the things with you of, let me rephrase that. Look at some of the things with you that you have set as goals in the past. Even if you know that you're never going to do that thing, let that goal go. Let that goal go, because it's still up there. And if it's still up here, then it still is being marked off as being incomplete. And when it's being marked off as being incomplete, then it doesn't matter if you ever complete it or not, because it's incomplete. Do you see what I'm saying? And I know somebody's like, well, what if you did complete it? Then it wouldn't be incomplete. Your brain is always going to see it as incomplete. Maybe you set a goal to run a marathon, and you thought, you know what, I'll just run a tiny one. I'll run the small one. And you held on to that goal for like a decade. And then you do finally run a small one. But it's not good enough because you didn't run a big one. You didn't get a medal. Do you see what I mean? Let go of it. Let go of it. The power being returned is Lilith. And that's instinct and animism and hunger. And did I just mention the dark divine feminine? Did I just mention that Cindy might be feral? Because I think I did. But it's the instinct that I want to talk about, because when you go through a phase of being or entering into that dark divine feminine, we start to get to a spot where we work more off of instinct than anything else. And that's not a bad place to be. Instinct keeps animals alive. Y'all know exactly what I'm saying. Instinct can keep you out of horrible situations. Instinct can keep you... Why am I yawning so damn much? From getting in your head too much. From getting sucked into a bad situation with somebody. Like, instinct is also something that gets toned down and kind of mutilated a little bit with us as humans. Because we have to get in this rhythm, and we have to have this job at these hours and do this and do this. And so your brain starts to fall into line with the time that, okay, I have to get up at this time, and I have to be at work at this time, and then I eat lunch at this time, and then I come home at this. Your brain starts to fall in line with that. And so when your brain's falling in line with that, then there's no point in having an instinct, because it's already programmed. So when you start going through this kind of like feral change and this dark divine feminine era, that instinct comes rushing back in, and suddenly you're doing crazy shit, carrying all these rocks in your pocket, or putting, weird shit all over your house, or driving way out of your way to go to work, or things like that. And then finding out that, okay, well, you went way out of your way because there was a huge wreck, and if you had gone on the right way that you normally go, you'd have been in the middle of it. Oh, okay, well, you put this, weird thing by your door, and it actually kept somebody from getting in. Things like that. Instinct. We dull it down because of our normal everyday routine. So that's what's being returned to you, is that instinct. What truth is becoming visible? Why am I yawning so much with yours? I don't know. I really think that this is appraisal. It's restlessness, and it's independence, and it's appraisal. And I really and truly think that it's appraisal with you. The truth becoming visible. Sometimes we get so caught up in trying to make sure that we're doing all the things. Okay, well, I did this, and I manifested this, and I played this, and I did that, and we get so caught up in all of these things that we think we need to do that we forget to stop and look around and go, holy shit, look at all this stuff that I did. Because we are told, just like with the schedule that we keep ourselves on, we're told that we have to do all these things. We always have to be bigger and better and more and so on. And so we forget to even stop and look around at all of the things that we've done and accomplished and been and so on. And so I think that this appraisal, that is what's becoming visible. And I can't wait for you to see that. And then, what is your rebirth? What is your Phoenix aspect strategy? So what that tells me is that you and I think along the same lines, and you get scatterbrained sometimes too. And so strategizing about everything can sometimes be really hard for you because you don't understand how to focus your strategy on what it is you want. So you make all these strategies, but you're making like multiple layers, like 30 different strategies that layer over each other all the time. And they only work if every one of those is kept exactly how it's supposed to be kept. But we all know that that is never the case, and that is never ever going to work. And so learning how to strategize for you and learning how to strategize for Cindy going forward, especially with this new instinctual aspect, is going to be a big, big thing. It is going to be a big, huge thing. I think you're in for a massive shift and change, Cindy. I think it's one that you've been working on, not just manifesting, but actively working on. Know that with big changes and big shifts come a lot of big feelings and a lot of big shadow work. Cause yay. Cause yay, shadow work. It's so funny. We always manifest Dana Smith is next. We always manifest these amazing things. We start to plan out having all of these big things and doing all this big shit. And the next thing you know, you're burnt out. But you're still manifesting. You're still doing things because you're trying to strategize in the exact same way. Just like you have to change your eating habits as you get older, just like you have to change your exercise as you get older, you also have to change your strategies. Just saying. All right, Miss Dana. You are so welcome, Miss Cindy. I love that. Dang, my ears ringing on that one. You're welcome. It's hard because we just look at it like, oh, okay, well, I used to strategize this way and get all my stuff ready for this and this and this. And we don't realize that as we get older and we have more experience and all of this other stuff, that it doesn't matter if we're going to strategize the same way. Because it ain't going to work. Because it ain't going to work. You have to strategize differently. All right, what's calling Miss Dana forward? Oh, it's that card right there. Hawthorne. So meditation and culture, communication. Why am I hearing learning languages? The thing driving you forward is learning about other not just other cultures and not just other languages, but all right, we're going to come back to that because it's like right there on the tip of my tongue. I'm probably going to be in the middle of a damn other card and be like, ah! This is Dana making a huge shift in your practice, in your magic, yeah? Okay, we're going to talk about the language thing in a minute because I keep hearing learning another language and I don't know why I keep hearing it. What is the broken chain that needs to fall away? Yes, ma'am. So you understand what I'm saying. Okay. Strategy, failure, and trauma. Okay? That is what needs to fall away. We're going to say that it is the trauma that needs to fall away here. What power is being returned? Transition. This is need and focus and transition is what's being returned to you. Okay? And then what truth is becoming visible? preservation, neutrality, and obligation. I think yours is obligation as well on that one. And then what is the Phoenix aspect for you? Beauty, agency, and compassion. Beauty. All right, Miss Dana. This new aspect of learning that's calling you forward has to do something with a language. I don't know if this is a language you actually speak, or if this is a magical language that you're learning, or you're reading something that's translated from another language. I don't know what this is. But whatever it is that is calling you forward, this new way of learning and being and so on, it has to do completely with who you are spiritually in your spiritual practice. It's funny. It's like two separate Danas. There is meat sack Dana. We're just going to say that there's meat sack Dana. And then there's the spiritual embodiment of Dana. And that's what this is about. I feel like there's been some kind of unlock up here. I was going to say shift, but that's not right. It's almost like a door got opened. And Dana now suddenly has all of these amazing things going on. Am I right? Am I right? What is the Schumann doing? What is going on? I am so sick of getting hit with these crazy ass headaches. I got hit with one last night. I just want to voice my my opposal. My opposition. My opposal. We're just going to make up words. I just want to voice my opposition to all of these solar flares and things like that, because this sucks and I'm tired of it. It sucks and I'm tired of it. All right. So we're talking about the spiritual aspect of Dana here. When it comes to what it is that's falling away, it's trauma. And it doesn't mean that you're just like locking it away, and bye, I'm not ever going to talk to this trauma again. It's that you're actively peeling away layers of it and letting those layers just go, letting them go. And I know that this is something you have been working on for a long time, because the trauma that you carry is heavy. The trauma that you carry is also other people's trauma, because you try to take that other trauma from them so they don't have to feel it, and then you carry even more trauma. So you allowing all of that trauma to go, you allowing everything that, that goes along with that trauma to fall off your shoulders. It doesn't mean it's not still kind of pulling around your feet and so on, but you're not actively thinking about it every single moment of the day and everything you do. So allowing some of this trauma to fall off, you have felt lighter, and you have felt more, and you have felt taller. And I hope that, I know that made sense to you, even though coming out of my mouth I was like, you sound crazy. So what's being returned? Transition. Transition, plain and simple. When we get caught up in our own trauma, then there is no way that you're going to make any kind of transition. It doesn't matter how much you work for something, how much you're manifesting something. It doesn't matter how much you want this transition. If you are so caught up in your own trauma, then it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. This is where that wonderful thing called shadow work comes in, that growth and atonement comes in. Atonement is dumb, growth is dumb, but great at the same time. But we don't realize that when we carry all of these traumas, both ours and other people's, you can't make any type of transition at all. You can't make any type of transition. You just stay stuck because you're mired down in all of that crap. So what truth is becoming visible? And I said I believe yours is also the obligation part on this card. You're seeing the truths of all of the obligations that you have made to people over the last few years. To your kids, to your work, to other like friends and family, to like you're seeing all of the obligations that you as Dana has set into motion. And some of them are ones that you're like, wait, why am I having that? Why am I doing that? Even though in the moment you were like, oh, okay, this is exactly what I want to do. We make obligations all the time that we don't want to do. We make obligations all the time. They might sound fun in the moment, but when we get there, we're like, oh, this is not fun. Don't hem-haw around being honest with some of these people about these obligations when you realize that you don't want to do them. Because when you realize that they're not for you, you don't need to do them, you don't want to do them, you can back out of them gracefully, but you have to tell the person that that is not what you're doing anymore, if that makes sense. It's interesting. I can't see any of the comments on TikTok suddenly. I can see everything going on, but there's not a single comment on TikTok. So, what is it that is your Phoenix aspect? Oh, now suddenly I can. That's weird. That's weird. I couldn't, because see, I noticed it because somebody came over on YouTube and said no TikTok. And Sass said no, she's on TikTok. And I looked over, and there's 180 people in here. The comments, there's always comments. You know what I mean? Plus, I'm reading for somebody. I should be seeing Dave's comments too. So seeing that it just was nothing, and even at the bottom you can see like so-and-so joined, so-and-so is here, so-and-so joined, so-and-so is here. I wasn't even seeing that. Huh. Interesting. Oh. Okay. Yeah, it's weird. So y'all were even seeing a different number of people than I was. Okay. Do tinfoil hats really help? Do tinfoil hats really help? I'm just saying. Miss Dana, what is your rebirth? Beauty. I know that that's beauty and agency and compassion. Beauty. That's exactly what it is. Whether it's a complete makeover, the outside of the Dana, or whatever. I'm sorry that my 3-pound dog snores like a 275-pound man. I just want you guys to enjoy that for a minute. Can you hear him? He's over there. He's not even by me. I love him so much. I'm going to miss that one day. I know I will. So I'm going to have to come back on this live stream and listen to him snoring. And I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. Dana, beauty is what's being brought back. Beauty is what the rebirth is that is coming right back in. And I think that that is something that you haven't had in your life in a long time. I'm just saying. Just saying. Does that make sense, Dana? I hope so. I haven't got to see any of your comments. They just all started coming back up. I think that sometimes he hears me and then he gets self-conscious and then he stops. I know you just can't stop snoring because you're self-conscious, but still. Because that would be nice. I don't snore, nor do I have anybody next to me that snores. Alright. Michelle Nash is next. So I have Michelle, and then Heidi, and then Kristen, Suzanne, Sammie, Ashley, and Tyler. And that rounds out my list for tonight. All right, Michelle. All right. What is calling you forward? Bet. How many of you guys follow me and have followed me for so long that when you see this card, you're like, yeah, like you do a little cheer. The Golden Empress. What's calling you forward? The fucking Golden Empress. Potency and magnetism and confidence. I mean, I would say that's probably one of the best cards you can get right there. Don't look. What needs to fall away? Sorrow and lost valor. Why do I feel like you're hard-headed, Michelle? Why do I feel like you're hard-headed? Here's why I say that. What's calling you forward? Everybody wants to know that magnetism and potency and confidence is calling them forward, but why do I feel like you already have these things and you just don't want to see that you have these things or admit that you have these things? You're confident, but you don't want to admit you're confident. Because you feel like you'd be bragging. And you know that you need to let go of all of those sorrowful things that you keep with you, but you don't. But you don't. Even though you know. I feel like the universe has been giving you sign after sign after sign after sign, and you're like, I know, but I'm still probably going to keep doing this. All right, what power is being returned? This is Osiris. Commitment, acquisition, and responsibility. And with that Golden Empress card right up there at the front, it is totally acquisition. In other words, getting your manifestation powers back. And I'm sorry that they were turned off. That's kind of some bullshit. So let's look at the mirror. What truth is becoming visible? El Shaddai. This is wisdom and paternalism and kindness. Oh, we're going to have a talk in a minute. And your Phoenix aspect. Wrath. Wrath and instability and suspicion, but wrath. Okay. So we talked about these first two a little bit, especially in actually realizing and admitting that yes, you are magnetic. I'm going to quit yawning so much. This is driving me up the wall. And I apologize for yawning so much. There's no reason for it. I mean, I probably could breathe a little more in between actually talking. Just saying, I could probably breathe a little more. Michelle, with you specifically, I think that you need to start giving yourself more credit. You need to start giving yourself more credit. Because what's happening is that you're getting all of these manifestations in, but you don't see that you're getting them in because sometimes in the moment we don't realize that what we have is what we were manifesting 6 months ago or a year ago or whatever. It'd be like, let's say that you said you started manifesting that you were going to date, I don't know, you were going to date some tall, blonde Viking guy or whatever. Like, does he have a brother? But let's say you started manifesting that a couple years ago. And then at the end of last year, you started dating this tall, blonde Viking guy, right? But you had forgot about that manifestation. You forgot that you were doing the 369 method and you were writing it down all these times and you were manifesting it, right? You forgot all about that, right? And then y'all broke up, you've gone on about your way and so on. And then you're cleaning out a box and you find that journal. And you go, oh my God, I just got exactly what it was I was asking for. I don't think you gave yourself enough credit, Miss Melanie. And to that, you also refuse to let go of some of these sorrows. You refuse to let go of them. There's a difference in remembering past hurts and remembering what made you who you are and letting these things continue to weigh you down like boulders on your chest. There's a big difference. And then what power is being returned? Acquisition. 100% acquisition. When we don't tell the universe that what we've been manifesting is what, or what we got is back it up, start over. When we don't tell the universe that we don't say thank you for the things that we got. Michelle, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Why was I saying Melanie? Because I'm not even looking at Melanie's name. I'm so sorry, Michelle. Thank you. I'm so sorry. When we don't tell the universe thank you enough, sometimes the universe is kind of like, you know how when somebody becomes ungrateful and you're just like, you know what, I'm not giving you shit anymore. I'm not giving you shit anymore. And it doesn't stop giving you shit. But let's say that you're manifesting 10 things, you might only get 2, whereas before you get 8. The universe is bringing back that acquisition to you. The ability to see all of the things that you've been manifesting coming through. The ability to see all of the different aspects of you that you're acquiring, all of the powers, all of the amazing things, all of the skills, all of the abilities, like all of that stuff. My advice, I'm going to give you this advice. Normally I would give it at the end, but I'm going to give it to you now because the new moon is coming up a week from today. This is the perfect time for you to start planning out like a thank you, right? It doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to cost you a lot of money, but putting some thought and some effort into it and looking at like what you already have at home and so on and so forth. Putting effort into being grateful and thanking the universe just for the things that it's already brought you, I think is going to make a humongous difference and allow you to see all of the magnetism that you exhibit. And if you ever question that you don't have magnetism, Michelle, think about how many people randomly talk to you when you're out and about anywhere. Just saying. Anybody else feel like I just got really quiet? I feel like I just got really fucking quiet. It's weird. What truth is becoming visible? Paternalism. Paternalism. A lot of times, especially as a woman, we forget that we have to have an even amount of the divine masculine. And a lot of times that dudes forget that they have to have an even amount of the divine feminine. You have to have those things equally because you have to have that balance. So when one is out of balance, we don't realize that we're missing the other. And when they start to come back into balance, that's when we realize, holy shit, I haven't had this over here in so long. I didn't even know what I was missing. So I think that this paternalism coming back in is you realizing and seeing where there hasn't been a lot of the divine masculine in you or coming from you. And what really fucking sucks about the world that we live in is that it's pushed on women to only be feminine, and it's pushed on men to only be masculine. And it's been that way for a long time. Like, it's been pushed for a long time. Because if you have balance, you get in line with yourself, and you get balance with yourself, and then a lot of these other things that we hold on, these self-judgments and these shemas and so on, they start to fall away, and we don't stress about them anymore. So I think that the truth that's coming back to you is a lot of that divine masculine. I'm a little nervous about this last card. Not nervous, but your rebirth has to do with wrath. Ma'am. Girl, ma'am. I can't really say anything because I know damn well that anger is a massive driving force with me. If I have something to be angry at and to funnel that anger into work, dude. You're an Aquarius, so I'm just saying. Your rebirth, your Phoenix moment, and I find it interesting that she has wings, is all about channeling that anger. All about channeling the wrath of Michelle into something more, if that makes sense. And what's really funny, even though all the rest of these cards are like the Golden Empress and, you know, all these things, it doesn't mean that you still don't have anger in there. It doesn't mean that there's still not things that are going to make you mad on a daily basis. So what I'm talking about is transforming all of that craziness, all of the anger, all of the bullshit, and utilizing it into something else. You know that you guys can harness that, transmorph it into something more. This is what quartz crystals are fantastic for. You're angry in the moment. You can take that anger and you can transmute it. You can put it in that crystal and you can leave it for a little bit. And then when you're ready to transmute it into something else, you know, like cleaning your house, reading a book, writing a paper, whatever. I'm just saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. This is killing me here. Stop. The comments are doing the things again. Oh, there's Michelle. Good. I'm glad. I'm so glad. I was worried I wasn't going to see your comment because your comment was doing the thing again. Miss Heidi is next. I would be willing to bet that we just got hit with another solar flare. I'm curious. We're going to look at the Schumann. Actually, I haven't looked at it today. It says we haven't gotten hit with anything. I'm going to go ahead and call some bullshit. But the frequency is at 8. The frequency is way too high. All right. Ready, Miss Heidi? The open door. What's calling Heidi forward right now? This is Jeannie the Maid. So this is champion. This is humility. I'm not worried about the disillusionment. Okay. What needs to fall away? Interesting. Communication. This is communication, meditation, and culture, but communication specifically. And then what power is being returned? The Maestro. This is ingenuity, understanding, and community, but ingenuity is what we're going to talk about here. And then what truth is becoming visible? The Red Shepherd. Okay. Just reward, evaluation, and rest. And then the rebirth. What is Heidi's rebirth? That's the driving force. Stop it. This card coming up in this specific position. Is it 3 times now that this has happened? Is this 3 times now that this has happened? Can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. All right. You can't make this shit up. Heidi, what's calling you forward? The champion aspect is the main thing that caught my eye here. And then seeing that what needs to fall away is communication. Let's talk about that. I'm going to say it very just plainly, and you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Stop communicating. Stop talking to that person. Stop talking about things. And I didn't mean to be like this with it, so I'm sorry. But I feel like you know exactly who this is. For some reason, they can get you to have like word vomit. Just blah, 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 blah. Every time they're around you, every time you're around them, you just want to tell them everything for some reason. You have to stop. Stop telling them those things. Stop telling them anything. They don't need to know anything about you. Because whatever it is that you keep telling them, or whatever it is that's making it to where you want to tell them these things, they are using every bit of information that you give them. They are categorizing all of it away. Every little thing that you tell them, they are hoarding for use later. The champion aspect is you overcoming this situation. I don't know who this is, but I feel like it's a dude. I don't know who it is that you're telling. It's not like a romantic person, but it's somebody that you're telling stuff to in confidence, thinking that they're your friend. They're not your friend. And I think that you've been feeling it lately, that there is something about them that you need to, I don't know. It's like your hair's been standing up, and it's 11:13 on 11:13 as I'm reading this and telling you to stop telling this person. That's funny. You can't make this shit up. I think that you know exactly who I'm talking to. I don't know if this is somebody at work or what, but this is ridiculous. I think that they've been either making some comments or doing some things lately that have got you. Your intuition's just like this, if that makes sense. I don't understand their motive behind it either. Like, they really think that they're going to be able to use this for some crazy comeback or whatever later. I don't understand why they're doing it, but they are. What power is being returned is, I find it interesting that it's community. I know I said ingenuity a while ago, but it's not. It's community. Sometimes we get wrapped up in our own life and we don't realize that we've isolated ourselves until we realize that we've isolated ourselves. Y'all all know exactly what I'm talking about. We get busy with kids and work and school and life and animals and house and all the things, and now it's about to be the holidays. And it doesn't matter what you practice during the holidays, we all visit with everybody. we see people that we haven't got to see in a very long time. Like we just do more things during the holidays, even though it's cold and shitty. I wish we could have the holidays during the summer. Let's do that. You know, when they were supposed to be. Okay, I digress. That's another life. But for some reason, community is what's being returned. I don't think that you're going to move out into the middle of the woods with a whole group of golden girls and yurts and sing Kumbaya every night. But I do think that this is friends that haven't been around in a long time. I think that this is connections and people that used to be a big part of your life suddenly coming back in, being back around. And I think that that's something you're going to find that you've really, really been missing more than you realized. So what truth is becoming visible? This is just reward, evaluation, and respite. Rest. It's rest. Completely. What truth is becoming visible? I feel like you've been running yourself ragged lately. And the truth that you need to just rest and relax and not go like balls to the wall like I know you're going to, because I mean I've met you. You're going to anyway. But that truth of needing that downtime and that rest and that kind of recalibration, that's becoming like really, really visible. It's becoming a really big thing in the forefront. And I'm not going to harp on that too much because I don't want it to seem like I'm griping at you. The Phoenix aspect of you, though. The feral Heidi's feral era. Mm-hmm. 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 Pestilence, malice, and corruption with the Abaddon card. I don't think that you're mean. I don't think that you're going to turn into Abaddon. And I don't think that there's going to be any malice or pestilence at all. But I do think that this is a lot of feral Heidi time. I think this is a lot of feral Heidi time. I'm just saying. And your kid's a fire sign. So that should be fun. That should be fun. Goodness sakes. All right, let me fix this. This is what keeps throwing me off. Okay, there we go. I'm refreshing my list because it kept doing this weird thing. And that's why I kept looking down. I'm like, what is going on? Because Wix is Wix. Because Wix is Wix. All right. I almost said Kristen. Kirsten is my next one. It's so funny. My daughter's a Kirsten. And she gets called Kristen all the time. And I'm literally looking at it that it's spelled Kerr. But my brain goes, Kristen? I'm like, fucking stop. Stop. There's the Kirsten. What's up, Kirsten? All right. I keep reaching down to turn this thing off and on because the heat is great until it's not. You know what I mean? It's great until it's not. All right, ready? Well, apparently I wasn't ready. I'm going to drop half my cards in my lap. And on the floor. What the hell? Where'd they go? Okay, so I only dropped 2. I only dropped 2. Oh, I'm sorry, Care Bears. Don't you love it when you look down at your doggy and they're just so sweet? They're so sweet. All right, those are the 2 that fell, so we're going to start with them. And then I completely jacked up all of this. All right. What is calling you forward? What is the open door that's calling you forward? So this one is the caretaker of the lost. These first 2 cards fell out. They fell all the way down the floor. This was the first one that came backwards and then, or came back to me when I was grabbing it. The caretaker of the lost. That is assistance and memory. It's also respite, which is rest. But I think that this is memory. What's calling you forward? Memory. The next, the broken chain, what needs to fall away? This is King Arthur. This is disillusionment. It's championship, nobility, but disillusionment is what we're going to talk about here with what needs to fall away. And then the torch, what power is being brought back to you? We'll reshuffle since I dropped the entire deck. Secret, subterfuge, and vigilance. Okay, we're going to talk about vigilance specifically. And then what mirror truth is becoming visible to you? Fame and stagnation and pride. Stagnation. And then the phoenix aspect of you. Danu, which is the mother of creation. Okay. So motherhood, ferocity, and creation. All right. So what is calling you forward? We talked about the caretaker of the lost down here and memory. I would be willing to bet that you've had a whole bunch of nostalgic things going on lately. Stuff from your childhood popping up, good and bad stuff from... I think a lot of it's stuff from your childhood. I think a lot of it is stuff from your childhood. These are... I'm going to say there's no rhyme or reason to them either. Because I was sitting here kind of just asking the question, you know, is this because of a loss? Is this because of a change? Is it... I think that some of it, there's no rhyme or reason. I think that you're going through a period of growth in your life. And so all of these things are popping up. And some of these are shadow work aspects. And some of these are things that you're... It's almost like you're not seeing the point, the whole point of some aspect. Maybe... something, you know, your grandpa said to you every single time you saw him and you took it for granted because he always said it, but it's actually some really deep life advice. Does that make sense? Those kind of things that we kind of take for granted a little bit. So all of these memories are popping up and they're really driving you forward, and you're looking at all of the bad things and all of the good things and all of the friends and all of the classes and all of the, like, all of the things from your childhood. You're kind of going back through and looking at every single little thing. What needs to fall away is this disillusionment. And I'm not going to lie, these two together suck. Because when you're going through all of these memories of your childhood and you're looking at all the things that were super great and the things that were not so great, we get disillusioned because our mind plays tricks on us. Our mind is always going to soften the blow of some of the horrible things that we experienced in our life. And when we have these horrible things, our mind sugarcoats them. You didn't see me yawn. It sugarcoats them to soften it a little bit. We remember... and we know that that was a really shitty situation and a shitty person or a shitty house or a shitty job or whatever. We remember and we know it was bad, but it gets softened. This is why people go back to exes, and we're all guilty of it. So don't sit there and think that you're not. We're all guilty of it. But the disillusionment that something wasn't as good as it really was is also just as big a thing in childhood as something that was really bad that got sugar-coated. We all, when we're kids and teenagers, we all think, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. I had the worst childhood ever. And then we grow up and we start to, be an adult. And we look at other people's childhoods and we realize that we actually had a pretty good one. For a long time, it seemed like everybody I talked to always talked about what a terrible childhood they had. And then I would ask them, well, what made it so terrible? And there really wasn't anything that I could see that was beyond the norm that would make something terrible. But yet we get it in our head, we get disillusioned with the thing that, oh, this was so terrible. I lived in a suburb, I didn't get to live out in the country. Or I lived in the country, I didn't get to live in a suburb with friends. That doesn't make it a terrible childhood, And so some of the disillusionment that you have surrounding some of these memories, the good and bad disillusionment, you have to let go of it. And that can be really hard because it opens up a whole lot of shadow aspects. It opens shadow ass. I don't know if I should make a really, really bad joke about shadow ass or if we should just coin that as a new term. I'm just saying. And I think it should be a new term. Shadow ass. This is the shadow work that you have to do when you're being an ass. Oh, that could go so wrong so quick. Okay, we're going to talk about something else. It's really funny because I saw your comment where you said, always with the shadow work. Yeah. I'm going to tell you something that really sucks too. Are you ready? It only gets worse. Once you start doing shadow work, it only gets fucking worse. That's shadow ass right there. When you realize that it never fucking stops. Never stops. That's shadow ass. Is that like swamp ass? Come on, that's funny. Well, no, that's monkey butt. It's not monkey ass. Like swamp ass. That's funny. Y'all know you're sitting over there laughing. I know you're sitting over there laughing. And you know you're sitting over there laughing. Yeah, when you realize that shadow work is something that continues on the rest of your life, then you wonder why the fuck you started doing it to begin with. But I promise when you come out of an aspect of shadow work, the person that you are is more. So much more. I'm just saying. So, what torch is being returned to you? Vigilance. Vigilance is all about focus and being very, very hyper aware of yourself, your surrounding, your goals, the things you're doing, the things you're not doing. So vigilance has its own, Aphrodite always got you doing shadow work. I mean, that is her MO. But vigilance brings a very interesting aspect as far as a power that's being returned to you. Because when you're really super vigilant about yourself, your path, your job, your house, your whatever, but in this case, your spiritual path, because I feel like that's what this is really about. And we're going to talk about the stagnation next. But when you become more vigilant about your path, you start to pick up a lot of things that have been going on that you didn't even know. Were going on. Why do I have the hiccups? First it was shadow ass, and now I have the hiccups. This is stupid. So is this a side effect of shadow ass? Hiccups? Are hiccups a side effect? So I want to talk about this one, and then we're going to come back to this one, okay? Because the truth that's becoming visible, that is stagnation. We always know when we're being stagnant or when we're forced into something that's stagnant. Like, we know. But the thing is, we don't like to admit it until it's like a crazy stagnation. Like, we're up to here in the quicksand. You know what I mean? Like, we can't get out now. We're up to here. Then we're like, oh, I might be stagnant, you know? But we know when we first put our toe in that we're getting stagnant, that we're stuck. That's why I said the vigilance is so important. And what's funny is these cards are the same damn colors. Of course, when I'm reading them, when I'm holding them, they're also facing each other. They're opposites, right? So you getting your vigilance back, you getting that power back, that ability to focus and move forward and be alive and awake again, automatically starts to erase that stagnant aspect. And you realizing that this stagnant aspect has been like concrete shoes that haven't quite set yet, but almost have set. Then you can kick them off. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, they go hand in hand. One can't exist without the other, because you really don't realize how much of your vigilance you've lost until you're stagnant. And you can't realize how stagnant you've been until that vigilance comes back. It's like yin and yang. Do you see what I'm saying? So a lot of this is things balancing back out. So I know we were joking about the shadow work and stuff like that, but a lot of this is really balancing shit back out. And I think that that's a place you haven't been in a very long time, is a place of balance. I think that things are always like this. Like, there's never a balance. They're always crazy, one high and one low, and there's never any balance. So I am going to say this, especially because of this card as being your Phoenix aspect, that creation and rebirth and so on. Once you start to go down this path of the new Kirsten, the new spiritually mature Kirsten, I think that you're going to see where there's a lot of these areas of you, of your path, of your life, etc., where you've been holding your own self back because you've been stagnant. When we're stagnant, we could have the perfect opportunity, the thing we've been manifesting the hardest, literally just get brought to our door on a silver platter. All we got to do is grab it, and we're going to have 900 questions before we pick it up. It's like, this is the literal thing you were manifesting, the big, amazing thing you were manifesting. All you have to do is go boop and grab it. But you got 900, and now it's 901 questions. When the opportunities come up. You didn't see me yawn. When the opportunities come up, Kirsten, just grab them. Just grab them. Don't ask questions. Just grab them. Especially if it's the very thing you've been manifesting. I don't think the shadow work aspect is going to happen too much longer. I really don't. Just because of the vigilance and the stagnation balancing each other out. Once those balance each other out and you have the creation coming in, that's go time, man. That's go time. Just saying. Had an interview today. Congratulations. I love that. I love that. I hope that it went well. I think that you're fixing to see a massive shift and change in yourself. But what's funny is you'll know in the moment when that massive shift, it was for the library. Awesome! I love that. Like to be a librarian or just to work in the library. Then my brain automatically goes to like the magicians with the librarians that take care of all the books of everybody. The thing that I love about this is something that you're going to know in the moment when this happens. Does that make sense? But you'd love to work in the youth center. I think that's really cool. I think either one of those would be really cool. I know it's getting going again. I really got to start breathing more. I think you're going to know, Kirsten, in the moment when this change happens, but you may not realize the depth of the change for months. I do want to say this. Keep in mind that what you say, what comes out of your mouth, matters. Keep in mind that your actions matter. And if you aren't having your actions be, a mirror of your words and vice versa, the universe is going to see that. The universe is going to see that. That's like telling kids that you're going to take them all out for ice cream and then taking them for broccoli instead. Over and over and over and over and over. All right. Suzanne is next, and before I start to read for Suzanne, I have to go take a potty break, so you guys have like a whole maybe minute and a half. We're just gonna play the Jeopardy theme. You have a whole minute and a half because I have to go pee-pees. I mean, not step on a dog. All right, I'll be right back. Hi, Beers. We don't want to wake the Zeus's up because he just got comfy. I had to grab some Tylenol. Had to take a break for a minute. Suzanne is next. Oh, I can't tell you how many people I see in the comments or message the website or, message me on social media or whatever and are like, oh my God, the Zodiac for this week was spot on. I'm glad I could help. Ugh. I had to take some Tylenol sinus or whatever. All right, Miss Suzanne. This weather, I'm not complaining. I'm not. Please don't take it as me complaining. I love you right back. I was sitting outside earlier in a tank top, barefoot, in mid-November because it was 76. It's supposed to be almost 80 tomorrow. Or maybe it is supposed to be 80 tomorrow. I'm not complaining. But the weather doing this, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the allergies. All right, Miss Suzanne. I know a lot of you are in the same boat. Christine, I know you are. Like, please don't take it as me complaining. But holy shit. Holy shit. Alright. What's calling Suzanne forward? The Traveler. Restlessness, appraisal, and independence. Appraisal. What needs to fall away? Wrath. Wrath, instability, and suspicion. Okay? What power is being returned? You can't make this shit up. It's the Golden Empress. Magnetism and potency. And confidence. I love that. Oh, we got another puzzle piece. I love it. Okay. What is the truth that's becoming visible? Okay. Meditation, culture, and communication. Actually, I think that it's meditation with you. And then, what is the rebirth and the Phoenix aspect for Suzanne? Stop it. Who's been counting? You know what's funny? This card was sticking out here, and I almost picked this card instead, but I didn't. I picked this one. Who's been counting? This has to be 4 or 5. 5. Look, Alex is counting. And y'all are watching me fucking shuffle the cards. Look, we can't all be feral at the same time. Somebody has to be sane. Somebody has to be grounded and sane. We cannot all be feral. Yes, Christine, the Abaddon card has been in at least half of the reads. Somebody needs to go back on YouTube and count. And count. Because I know it's been in this last position at least 3 or 4 times. And I know that it's been in the first position at least twice. I love that people are like, why not? Why can't we all be feral? And then Suzanne says she's been feral all week. Okay. What's calling you forward, Suzanne? Appraisal. Appraisal. I have a feeling that right now you're looking at physical items in your life, like, what can I clean out of my closet? What can I clean out of this? What can I do? Like, you're looking at all of the physical things in your life. What can I do here? What can I do here? What can I do here? And then, I love that, Alex. Thank you, Alex. A total of 5. Okay. We start with the physical because it's easiest, right? Okay, I have 19 cups. I don't need 19 cups. I need like 2. You know, one of my main ones and then one to drink out of when my main one's in the dishwasher. I don't need 19. So let's get rid of that shit. We start there with the physical and then we move on to, you know, the mental and the emotional and then the spiritual. And for some reason, we tend to always do the spiritual last. Even if our intention is to do the spiritual first. We tend to always do it last. Sometimes you need all the other clutter out so you can see everything with the spiritual really, really clear. So you're in an aspect of appraisal right now. You're in a moment of looking at every little single thing around Suzanne and making sure that you actually need that thing. I also wouldn't be surprised to know that you've been getting rid of a lot of shit. Or you have piles of shit ready to go to Goodwill or wherever it's going. What is it that needs to fall away? Wrath. There comes a point when we take on other people's anger. It's not just our own anger. It's we take on other people's anger as well. And when that happens, we start to get overwhelmed really, really quickly. Because instead of just taking on our anger that, I'm mad at this situation or I'm mad at that situation or this person or that person. Instead of taking on our own anger and sorting through it and being like, okay, why am I mad at this situation? Why am I mad at this person? We start to take on other people's anger because it's much easier to figure other people's shit out than it is our shit. But that gets overwhelming really fucking quick. And when that gets overwhelming and when that happens, when we get overwhelmed, then we don't know which way to go. And you've been in this, hit that right on. You've been in this appraisal mode and that anger is only like stopping it. If that makes sense. You can't continue to appraise and do things because the anger keeps stopping it. So what power is being returned? The Golden Empress. The Golden Empress. Power, confidence, magnetism, potency, all the things. Now, you do have to let that wrath kind of float away. You have to let that fall away. But the magnetism is what is really coming back in. The confidence is also a big thing. I felt like I needed to point that out. And I'm just going to leave that at that because everybody knows. I know you watch me all the time, so I know that you know. I know that you know that I know that you know that Golden Empress card is my favorite card in that deck because it is literally everything you want. It's everything you want. So, what is the truth that's becoming visible? This is communication, culture, meditation. And for you, I think that it is specifically meditation. I wouldn't be surprised to know that you've been clearing out a space for you to have a meditation room or at least a corner or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised to know that you've been doing all of the things that you need to do to get back into a meditation practice, process, etc. And I think that you just had a epiphany moment one day, probably last week or the week before, that you were like, I haven't just sat for a long time. I haven't just sat and been quiet or been mindful or meditated or anything. You haven't. Yep, you hit that too. Okay. The whole meditative aspect of you having a spot again, I think is important. I keep wanting to say having a spot, with a cushion or a rug or whatever. It's you having a spot that's just dedicated to you having whatever it is that you need to meditate. And I think that that's also driving getting a bunch of shit out of your space and out of your house. So I would make this a priority. Making sure that you have a space that is just your space to just be quiet, to meditate, for everybody leave you the fuck alone. Because I think that's going to help with all these things. And then, I don't know, girl, really the Phoenix aspect of yours is Abaddon, which is malice and pestilence and corruption. And so this is the rebirth. The feral Suzanne. Even though you just have the Golden Empress over here. But I do find it interesting that the thing to let go of is wrath, but the thing coming in is this kind of feral aspect. You can be feral without being angry. You can be feral without being shitty. You can be feral without having all of the negative bull crap that goes with it. And I just want to challenge you to remember that. Because sometimes when we're in that full-on feral... yeah, feral without being mad. When we're in that full-on feral aspect, we feel like we have to be mad at the same time, and that's not it. Does that make sense? Every time I get this picked up, it falls. Again. I don't even have the heat on. Makes my bucket hot. I will say I got the one that has the heat and the massage in it. Just because of sitting so long during the day, it makes my hips, makes me walk like a little old lady lately. Dude, that thing is so loud. It's so loud. I can't have it on while I'm on live. I mean, I guess I could. It's just loud. It's just loud as fuck. See? That's the one right there. It's loud as fuck. Even if you lean against it. Loud as fuck. But the heat is awesome. Just being feral and what you want in free spirited. Yes and no. I mean, being feral and also being motivated and having all of that confidence and that magnetism. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There's a lot of times that we get our magnetism back, our confidence back, and that makes us feral. You know, y'all are just being nice. Maybe I just hear it really loud because it's right there in my ear. It's all I can hear when it's on. But sometimes when we start to get that confidence back, we easily become feral. Because we're confident enough to be feral instead of being worried about what everybody else thinks. Does that make sense? Y'all are just being nice. Y'all are just being nice. Yeah, I'll probably have to turn it on for my sciatic here in just a minute. It's getting a lot better. Like it is. I'm not gonna say that it's 100%, but it's getting a lot better. It is so much better than where it was. It's so much better than where it was. Thank you over there, the C and me. I appreciate you joining over there on the YouTube. Good. I'm glad it makes sense, Suzanne. Those of you guys that have cats and dogs, I'm just curious. This cat. You can't make that up. This cat likes to walk over the dogs. He likes to walk on top of the dogs, knowing that they're going to be pissed. You do it on purpose? Is it funny? Come here. Come on. Come on. You say hi. You can say hi. Come here. Come here. You gonna choose cards? Some of you guys have been following me for a while. I'm trying to get him up here where... Now I've got a cat following me. Where you guys can see him on YouTube. Come here. Vlad. Come here. Yeah. Look how big he's gotten. Aww. Aww. I love you. I know a lot of you guys remember when I got him. I've had him almost 2 years now. Can you believe that? 2 years? He will be 2 years old in March. Oh, I kissed you. And for those of you guys that don't know about Vlad, he's about to fall, actually. He has 6 toes on each foot. Your cat is 4 and half his size. He's gotten humongous. I'm gonna have to kind of like cut his food down. Don't tell him, but I'm gonna have to cut his food down. Him's a chunky. You're melting. I can't hold you. Okay. All right, chunky. Well, we're gonna finish some card reads. You want to sit in my lap while I do card reads? You can. You just gotta sit. You just gotta sit. Okay. Oh, you getting down? Got cat hair all over me now. Oh, you're just gonna climb on the desk. All right. Well, I'm gonna have you get down then. Okay. I love you. I love you. He has calmed down a lot. Yeah. I love you. I love you. He's calmed down a lot. But yeah, he's gotten big as hell, hasn't he? Batcat style reads. I don't know if he would. He will sometimes, but most of the time he just wants up here because he wants up here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. You just want to be nosy, huh? Yeah. I love you. Cat cat. Oh, I love you. We'll curl up in a little bit, okay? We'll curl up in a little bit. All right, Sammie. See, Sammie is next. He else until you feed him, he won't allow cutting his food down. I started to a little bit. I'm just going to do it like this, little by little by little by little. Because I realized that, like, he's got that big bowl in there, and he gets, like... So we do doggy lunchtime about noon o'clock, right? And the old men know, right? It's lunchtime. They come in there and they get their good food and so on. And he gets like a little, his little special cat food, right? But they always have dry food out just because I want them to always, I don't know. They just always have food out. I realized this fucker was going through, I had a cup that I had just to dip his food out, right? It's almost this big. He's going through this much cat food a day. No, sir. No, sir. Mm-mm. And that is my fault. That is 100% my fault. Used to be that I could fill that up and he wouldn't go through it for a couple days. Now he's going through it a day. So. Yeah. So we've started cutting his food down. Now I'm going to feel like my nose is itching. It's funny. I was really allergic to cats when I was a kid. I couldn't have them. Can I help you? I feel like I just got all the cat hair off of me. Thank you for kisses, though. I appreciate that. Can I help you, though? Hey, oi. What are you doing? Oh, you're trying to be up here playing on stuff. No. Boy, no. No. I have a feeling it's going to be Zoomy night. Me and the old men's are going to be ready to go to bed, and he's going to be Zoomy. He does want to talk about the food situation. I'm sure he does. He heard me. He's over there now playing in shit he's not supposed to either. All right. Sammie, what is the open door for Sammie? What's calling you forward? This is Hades. It is wisdom, equality, and inevitability. I'm pretty sure that this is inevitability. Just like the cat hair in my nose is inevitability. The broken chain. What needs to fall away? This is Anubis. This is obligation. It's preservation, neutrality, and obligation. It's, you know what? No, it's not. It's neutrality. It's neutrality. Inevitability and neutrality. What is the torch, the power that's being returned? The caretaker of the lost. Okay. So, memory, assists, like assistance, rest, etc. What is the mirror, the truth that is becoming visible? The keeper of the crossroads. Boy, that actually kind of hurt. What the hell? Absolutely not. I even moved up so he couldn't get in my lap, and that's what just happened. He hit the chair. The caretaker of, the traveler, the keeper of the crossroads, restlessness, independence, and appraisal. Okay. And then the phoenix aspect. What self? I approve of that message. All right. Sammie. Get them all just set right. I'm afraid to look down because I know he's still right there. He's still right there. I shouldn't have looked down. I love that. You sure he ain't taking too much catnip? Yeah, no, he doesn't get catnip. He doesn't get catnip. He got it one time and he's ridiculous. He is ridiculous. Y'all ever seen those drunk people, and some of you guys might be those drunk people, that when you get drunk and you love everybody? That's that cat right there. That is that cat right there. I'm not complaining about it. But yeah, he is, he's ridiculous. He loves everything. And I mean everything. So he doesn't get catnip. He doesn't get catnip. Yeah, he doesn't get catnip. All right. Sammie, what's calling you forward? Inevitability. I think that there have been a ton of different signs and different things that have been popping up repeatedly, like over and over and over and over. And it's to the point where even though you've been trying to not do those things, you know what I mean? Even though you've been trying to not pay attention to, you know, just kind of like, la, 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 I'm not going down that path, I'm not going down that path. Inevitably, you come right back to the beginning of that path every single fucking time. So I think a lot of what's going on is this inevitability. This is stuff that you haven't even entertained the idea of a lot of this, because you always felt like either it was out of the realm of possibilities, out of your reach, or that you didn't want it, or both, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. I hope that makes sense, Sammie. I'm looking to see if you're still here or not. What needs to fall away is the neutrality. I first thought it was obligation, and then when I started seeing the other cards, I was like, no, it's neutrality. You have to pick a side on your spiritual self, your spiritual fight. Does that make sense, Sammie? Because you can only be neutral for so long on your own spiritual path. Eventually, you have to choose between you and other people. You have to choose between, you know, the light and the dark, And I know that you're like, wait, you always talk about balance. I do always talk about balance. But you still have to choose all of these things all the time. You know what I mean? All of these things all the time. All right. Hey, do I have a moderator that can jump over to YouTube, pretty please? This is your friendly reminder that if you come in and you act like a jerk, you act like a creep. Jerks don't like jerks and creeps don't like creeps. Just keep that in mind. Keep in mind also that the energy you bring into a space is the energy that is going to follow you out of that space. I'm just saying. I don't need you to come in and tell me how to do my job or tell me what you think is wrong with me or wrong with my job or whatever. I don't come in and do that to you. And I hope that you have the day that you deserve. So, let me go back to Sammie over here. I think that this neutrality, you have to get rid of the idea that you can be completely neutral, because you can't. There's no way to be completely neutral in anything in life. It doesn't matter what it is. You can say you're going to be neutral as much as possible, but you're always going to lean one way or the other. Let's talk about the power that's being returned to you. This is assistance. It has nothing to do with memory. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's assistance. I have a feeling that you've been cut off from either your guides or whatever for too long. Thank you. I appreciate that. For some reason, my stuff over here isn't working, and I can't do anything to get somebody out of the chat. So, yeah, I can't click on anything. I can't do anything. So, thank you for removing that person. When we get blocked, when we get off our path, and when we ignore things to where inevitably things come back or come back around. Let me just say this. Let me say it in this way. If you continually ignore your path, you continually ignore what the universe has set for you to do, what you have chosen to do when you got here in this meat sack. It's not going to take very long, and the universe is going to be like, okay, you won't listen to me, well, I'm not going to do this. And it can start cutting you off from things. Not cutting you off, but it'd be like wearing a big helmet to where you can't hear your guides or anything like that. And I think that that's kind of what's been going on. So you getting this assistance back, Sammie, is you getting all of your guides and the spirits around you and things like that. And I have a feeling that this is going to be like a whoosh coming back in, like all of them coming back in all of a sudden. So expect to feel a little crazy in the upcoming month. Just so you know. But the truth that's becoming visible, this is independence. This is independence. You getting all of these things back. You getting back in touch with your guides and the spirits and the deities and the beings that have always helped you. All of the different things that were inevitable for you to come back into after taking a hiatus from them. You are finally going to gain back all that independence that you felt like you had lost. Sammie, I feel like there's been a lot of things that have kept you from doing all of the things that you used to do that made you feel like magic. Because we do these things where there are days we just feel like magic, right? We feel like the most magic motherfucker on the entire planet. And then we start to like, well, I don't really need to do that today, or I don't really need to do that tomorrow, or whatever. And then we just don't do it at all, and we realize that we're stuck. We're in a rut. We're not doing the things that used to make us feel great, and so on and so forth. And so I think that you're getting back to being able to be Magic Sammie again. Being able to be, well, being able to pull yourself up out of that mud, that rut. And then what part of the Phoenix aspect is coming up for you? And that's literally reclaiming who you were, who you are, who you want to be. The Lady of Masks is literally reclaiming its beauty and surface appearance and reclamation. So I don't know if you've been manifesting reclaiming or if you've just been clearing shit out of your path so you can reclaim yourself. Either way, that's exactly what's about to happen. There usually is some kind of crazy shit that happens before you're reclaiming yourself. Just letting you know. So I expect you to have a very interesting holiday season, Sammie. A very interesting holiday season. So just get ready. Just get ready for that. Just get ready for that, because that's apparently going to be a thing. Just saying. Where's my cursor? There it is. You're okay, Leanne. All right. Ashley is next. I'm going to put these all back in there, just like that. So I have Ashley, Tyler, and Sandra. Aw, thank you, Bella Queen. I appreciate that. All right. Ashley. What is calling you forward? I almost made the joke, this better not be the Abaddon card. Y'all watched me fucking shuffle repeatedly. Pestilence, malice, and corruption. What's calling you forward? I think for you it's specifically corruption. Not that you're corrupt, okay? Just like, all right. Oh, you're okay, Sass. What needs to fall away? The Morrigan, okay? Anticipation, introspection, and opposition. What power is being returned? The Thinker. So this is instruction, knowledge, and reinvention. What truth is becoming visible again? Short-sightedness, ambition, and narcissism. So ambition. Getting your mojo back. And then the Phoenix aspect of you. What part of you is under a rebirth? Championship, nobility, and self-realization. Okay. I can't with this card, man. I fucking can't with this card. What's calling you forward? Corruption. Corruption. But it's not you that's being corrupt, okay? A lot of times when... I like that a lot of my things start with a lot of times. When corruption runs rampant, what happens? Y'all have all seen the dystopian movies and so on. When corruption runs rampant, what happens? After a while, it ends up completely being obliterated, right? And then being rebuilt from the ground up by a completely different group of people, but ideology, right? So if corruption around you is pushing you to do something else, to be more, to be better, to be different, to change, to be pissed off or whatever. But if corruption around you is causing this about to be massive undoing, undone, untying of all the things, then it's going to start this massive rebirth. You didn't see that. It's going to start this massive rebirth. I think you're at the teeter point right now. Does that make sense? You're at the point where you're like, you know what? No, not doing this anymore. You're right at that point. I would bet that probably before the new moon, probably before next Thursday, it's going to be the big, massive, like, shift. Because what needs to fall away is the Morrigan card, the Weaver of Fate, which is opposition. A lot of times we fight the change. We fight breaking down that established aspect, even if it's completely corrupt, even if it's completely a pain in the ass and we can't do it anymore. We fight that because it's easier to stay with the devil, you know, if that makes sense. It's easier for us to stay in that same thing over and over and over again. It's easier for us to just roll with it. But after a while, even rolling with it, that gets thinner and thinner and thinner. So I think that's why this opposition is there. And then what's being returned? I would like to say this reinvention, but it's not. It's instruction. Instruction as in you getting the right instruction on how to tear this down. And instruction on you passing that to other people that need to know about it, if that makes sense. I think you're about to go through a very pivotal time. I don't know what's going on, Ash. I don't know what's going on. I keep looking at this like doing that. Because because after this, you then get your ambition back? Ma'am, have you done a return to sender recently? Because for you to get your ambition back tells me that you lost it, or that it's been hidden, or that it's been under wraps, or whatever. So the more I'm getting into this, I'm like, wait. I would straight up do a big ass return to sender. I know that Ashley knows this because she watches me a lot, but I'm going to say this because somebody else needs to hear it. Somebody can do some horrible things to you spiritually and never light a candle, never make a jar, never know anything about witchcraft at all in any way, shape, or form. They can do some horrendous things to you spiritually just by talking about you repeatedly, doing everything they can to undermine you or your business or your job or your family, by doing anything they can to make other people hate you or dislike you or distrust you or whatever. They can do so much damage over and over and over and over and over. And eventually it becomes like a spell that's been sent to you. Now, I'm not saying that people don't just send shit, you know. But one of the things I want to say is this. Just like people get mad when someone says, oh, you know, I'm going to put you in a candle. Excuse me, I'm going to put you in a jar. You don't know what that jar is for. What if they're doing a blessing jar? The same exact energy goes into prayer. Any type of prayer. I don't care if it's to some obscure, crazy Himalayan deity, or if it's to God, or if it's to Allah, or I don't care. The same energy and manifestation goes into prayer. So if someone's always praying that you will see things their way, if they're always praying that you're going to turn your life around and come back to them or back to whatever, that's literally manifestation. That is spell work at its finest. And Ashley asked how to do a return to sender. Here, I'm going to tell you the easiest way to do so. Just go get you a big black candle. And when I say big, I mean either, and you can, I would really recommend if you can find one of the glass ones at the Dollar Tree doing that. Okay? You can also find those at Walmart sometimes. I've been seeing plain pillar candles. You just want it to be a plain black. Here, you're going to see why I'm recommending you doing it in the pillar candle. First of all, get the one in the pillar. Make sure it's black, okay? On the outside, write exactly what it is that you want returned. All of the bullshit, any negativity. Let's say that, there's been a lot of sickness. All that sickness in your house needs to go away. Problems at your job need to go. All the things, right? And what you want to do, so let's say that this is the opening, this is the top of the candle, and this is the bottom. You want to write it like this. Turn the candle on its side and write it to where the first part of the sentence is at the bottom and it's going up. Because you want to give it away. You want it to go away. If you're bringing something to you, you write it down. Okay? So start writing it. Like, I was hoping that. Here we go. This one's actually a really good example. It's already carved. So you can see that I've got arrows, and yes, they're curved, coming down because this is a candle for, money. But see how everything is coming down, right? The arrows are down. So you turn the candle on its side, and this is the opening, this is the top of the candle. No, Vlad, this is the top of the candle. So you're going to start here, and you're going to write, all negative intentions sent my way need to leave, or whatever. And you can write as small as you want. That's a good idea. I will totally do a video. But you just want to write upwards like that. You want it to go away. The reason you want to use a glass pillar candle. I don't know what he is doing, but he keeps trying to get into my lap now, and it's driving me up the wall. Let it burn all the way down. Okay? Now, obviously, don't let it burn overnight. Don't let it burn when you're not home. Okay? You can put it out. Blow it out, cover it, put it out, whatever. But once it's done, once it's blown completely out, or gone completely out, it cannot light anymore. You want to take that, that's when you do a good egg cleanse, okay? Do yourself a good egg cleanse. It's all been sent back. I do recommend putting a salt circle just around the base of it, or setting the candle, on a plate, and then putting some salt around it, because salt will help to keep all that negativity in that one thing. Take all the salt, put it in the candle, the glass, put it in the candle after it's all been burnt out, and then take that thing outside and take it to a dumpster somewhere and get rid of it. This cat is driving me up the fucking wall right now. Take it and get rid of it. That's the easiest way to do return to sender. That every single bad intent needs to go right back where it went. Because I really feel like this is somebody that has been doing this on purpose, Ashley. On purpose. They've been doing it on fucking purpose. And they know what they're doing. Like, they know that the intent is there. Does that make sense? They know their intent is for you to either fail at what you're doing or to come back to their way of thinking or whatever. They're doing it on purpose. They are doing it on purpose. Do a good return to sender. He is really crazy this evening. He's a crazy cat. They're doing it on purpose, Ashley. They are. That's not cool. Like 100% not cool. So yeah, do a return to sender. Whoa, that is my doll, homie. Hey, Dude, you fucking with JoJo, that's... Mm-hmm. Some of y'all on YouTube can see him over there. Oh, your cat's being a shit tonight as well. So what an egg cleanse does, yeah, do an egg cleanse while you're disposing of the candle. Because what a return to sender does is it literally sends everything back, right? It's everything that was sent your way, it just sends it right back. So an egg cleanse is going to cleanse you as well. So do the return to sender and then cleanse the rest of it off. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. He never gets on my shelves. Like, it's weird. It's weird. I think that he's just crazy. Yeah. Do the candle. Once the candle is done, then you want to do another egg cleanse. In fact, when you notice that the candle is getting close to being down at the bottom, that's when you want to set an egg out, let it sit out for a day or so. So yeah. I find it interesting that people's cats are being weird too. He has been on one. Not in a bad way, like this is the first night he's gotten into shit. No, it's not. No, it's not. He woke me up last night and the night before. So I assume it has to be the geomagnetic crap going on. That's what I'm going to assume. Your dog is acting weird? Yeah. See, my dogs aren't acting weird. They're both asleep. They're both asleep. They don't care. They're both asleep. So, I have Tyler and Sandra on my list. And it is pretty fucking late. So, I am going to shoot you your money back for this. So that way y'all can go to bed and I can go to bed and I can figure out what's up with Vlad. Also, I need to go eat. So, yeah. So we're going to do that. Yeah. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to figure out